Stretford, Paddock. This is the Watchalong for Manchester United against West Brom. My name is Joe. This is
Alex.
Alex is here as well. We are here for the Watchalong, taking you through from right now, which is ages before kick-off, all the way through till the end of the match. And football's back, Alex. What are you thinking, mate?
Back. It's good.
What are you thinking?
It's good. Like, I mean, Chelsea won today, which has kind of been a bit shit.
Forget about them.
But apart from that, yeah, it's good because international break was no fun.
No, it was crap, wasn't it?
No fun. It was really boring, and there wasn't even any United players really to watch.
Even when Maguire scored, I was like, oh, that's good. And then he played in midfield basically in the next game.
Left wing.
Cheers, Harry. Thanks for that, but you know, it's not really doing much for me. It's not the same as Manchester United playing.
No.
Hello, everyone in the chat. Get your comments in, get your score predictions in. We're going to be looking forward a little bit to the game, making our score predictions, having a little chat about what's been going on and what's been going on in the Premier League this weekend as well. We've mentioned a little bit there, Chelsea.
The top of the league, kind of.
The top of the league on what? Goodwill?
Yeah. Everyone else got to play their games and then we'll see what they are.
Games in hand.
Yeah, they're top of the league. Tottenham, I think, can go top with their win today. Then tomorrow, there is the other big game. There is Leicester versus Liverpool. I think both of them can jump over that. So it's getting a bit close with all this. And United, we've got 2 games in hand on them. So if we win today...
Which we will.
And then whenever we catch up that Burnley game, which I don't think they've actually decided yet when we're doing that, catch up that Burnley game, we're only 2 points behind.
It's not too bad.
But we are actually 8 points behind.
We have to win both of those, don't we?
Of course we're going to win both of those.
On the watch-along today then, it's going to be me, it's going to be Adam, it's going to be Alex, and Steve's going to be having his little stats corner as well, so there's loads of people on the watch-along, like I said, taking you all the way through from now till the very end of the match, Manchester United against West Brom. Now, we've had 2 weeks off. There's been so many little stories, little tales, little who-know-whats has been going on.
Yep.
Tellez had COVID, then he got over it, then he wanted lad in Uruguay because he got it again, then actually it turned out he didn't get it again, he just tested for it again, then he did get it again, then actually, false alarm, hasn't got it.
And
what's going on?
He didn't get it, and then what happened is they went to Uruguay and didn't play.
Yeah, exactly.
They tested him 14 times for him to go and say, yeah, not playing. But
yeah, he's not even playing.
But hopefully, it's looking likely that he's playing today. It looks like the rumours about squad leaks, which keep coming out now with Manchester United, is that Brandon Williams is on the bench.
Yeah.
Which means that it looks like Alex Tellez will make his first Premier League start. An appearance. He's not even said hello yet.
He's only made 1 appearance for United.
PSG wasn't bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird, these leaks. You mentioned those leaks there. And something that it happened under Jose, and there was a lot of talk about who it would be, and Jose mentioned it in the press that these leaks keep happening. Now, one thing that I have noticed is we had some leaks a few weeks ago that actually turned out to be wrong. Do you remember that? A couple of weeks ago.
That's just people making stuff up.
No, but they were coming from the same sources on Twitter that were like, here's what it is one week and they were right, the next week here's what it is and they were wrong. So I wonder whether Ollie is doing some sort of like, I'll tell you this team, I'll tell you that team.
Going all Colleen Rooney on all
Going
this.
a bit Colleen Rooney on it.
Yeah, just dropping little things everywhere else.
I wonder. I do wonder.
I like it.
But, you know, it's not good having leaks, is it? Because it does sort of suggest that people are, you've got a little bit of a, what do they call them? A rat?
A
mole or a rat.
A mole.
All sorts going on. But yeah, seeing Tellez will be nice. I'm sure he'll play. Unless, of course, Brandon does play, because we saw Ole yesterday talking about how he's been better in training, he's looking more like the Brandon from last season.
Yep.
Obviously, he seemed to fall off quite harshly last season, didn't he, after COVID, or after the return, after lockdown. He wasn't the same player that we saw throughout most of the rest of the season.
No, I think there was a bit of it just that he played a lot of games in the early start of the season, and he is still only young. It's a lot of pressure on him, a lot on his legs kind of thing, and it's just kind of, it did slope off a little bit. But then at the same time, I think because Luke Shaw got a little bit better and he wasn't getting the same match rhythm as he got into. And also it's very different when you've got that bit of expectation. When he was coming in these one-off games beforehand, there was no expectations of Brandon Williams. He could just come in, do what he wanted to do, fly into things. Whereas when he had a bit more pressure on him, he did kind of sink in a little bit.
Yeah, he did. But Ollie was saying that he's looking like he's getting back towards the player that we saw at the start of last season.
Yeah.
I do still assume Tellez will play, but you never know with Ollie, do you?
You never know.
There's a reason he's not played so much so far, and who knows whether that will continue. Throughout the squad, then, there's also been talking about these rumours. There have been some rumours that there'll be no Paul Pogba in the even in the squad today. Now, obviously, like I said, these are just rumours at this point. We will have the team news coming up very shortly with Adam and with Ronaldo as well, but this whole Paul Pogba situation, if he's not even in the squad today, having played for France over the the international break, what kind of message does that send out, do you think? I mean, there's obviously a chance he's injured, but he's not been playing recently, even when he has been fit. Do you think that, at some point you kind of say, well, there's maybe something going on here? Or do you still
I don't know. Maybe I think there's too much to say. I think there's a lot of it might be the fact that he has played 2 games back to back, which he's not done at all so far this season. I think he played at least an hour in both of those games. So maybe he just needs a bit of a break. And now that Istanbul game is on Tuesday, if we'd have won the game before the international break against Istanbul, it would have been not a nothing game, but if we get a point, we're pretty much through. But now it's a must-win.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we don't want to have to get 4 points in those last 2 games against Paris and Red Bull. So we have to win this game, give us the comfort. So maybe he's thinking, do you know what? He's had a lot of minutes in the last 2 games. Take him out of this squad. We shouldn't need him today. Hopefully, you've got Bruno in there. You're gonna have Van der Beek in there. Maybe just a little bit of a break with Paul Pogba, and then he can maybe play 90 minutes against Istanbul this week.
Yeah, I think that game has become massive, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think this West Brom game has become massive as well. You mentioned there before about these games in hand that United have got. 2 games in hand on the likes of Chelsea and what will be Spurs and City in a minute when they've finished. I believe that's still 1-0 in that game. We have to win these games. Now, games in hand, the whole, what is it, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush kind of thing. It's all well and good saying, well, we've got 2 games in hand, but we have to win them. And so far, especially home games, we haven't won them.
No, we've not won them. We've not won the simple games so far. The first game against Crystal Palace, I think it was bad, but we kind of understood it. We kind of let it off because of the lack of pre-season that Manchester United had.
Yeah.
You kind of gave them a little bit of an excuse. And Chelsea and Arsenal games could have gone either way. Obviously, the Tottenham game didn't go well in the slightest. But the home form, we've still not won at home. We have to win these games. And West Brom, I saw a stat that they're statistically probably one of the worst teams in Europe. Never mind the out of the top 5 leagues.
Expected points.
Expected goals, expected points, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They literally are one of the worst teams around, and we need to win those games. So. You see the home record there this season, the 3-1 loss, the 6-1 loss to Spurs. And then the next 2 games, I don't think they were as bad as people made out to be. They weren't the most
I think we were defensively good in both of those games.
Defensively good in both those games.
Better than Chelsea. Arsenal, they sort of nullified us a lot going forward, but other than the penalty, they didn't hardly made a chance themselves. No, that was just a bit of a dull couple of games, wasn't it?
Yeah, both those games. But since then, we've looked a little bit better. There's been a few good performances. So hopefully our first home win today.
Get your score predictions in the comments as well. Yep. Let's have a little talk about our score predictions because we had the Everton game. It really was billed as this sort of must-win game for Solskjaer, wasn't it? It was, I think somewhat unfairly, a lot of sections, especially Twitter, which... It's almost stupid using Twitter as a source for fan opinion because it's what you see when you go online. But really, I think it represents such a narrow percentage of what people actually think. But if you were to take Twitter's opinion on it, you would have thought if he'd have lost that game, he was getting sacked. Now, I don't think that necessarily was the case, but there was certainly a lot of pressure on Ole, and he won it. Do you think that a lot of that pressure has gone away, or do you think if we lose this game to West Brom, he's right back where he was before the Everton game?
I think the same. I think if we lose this game, I think the same kind of talk's going to go on. I think the same thing is that he's under pressure and things like that. So you have to win these games. I'm going to go for today. I'm going to go. There's a 4-1 there. I'm going to agree with that. I think 4-1. I think the first goal in this kind of game, the timing of it is big. I think if United can get that game, get that win, that goal, early doors in the first 20 minutes or so, I think we cruise past West Brom. I don't think there'll be a problem. But if it gets past half an hour, if we don't score in the first half, it could be one of those nervy days, especially as we've not won yet at home.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think if you slip up today, we've got quite a winnable run of fixtures in the Premier League from now. I think we've got quite up until I think we play City at some point. I think we've got a very good game, very good chance of winning things. And I think that we need to just win all those games. I think that if you don't, there's going to be pressure on Ole, as there was ahead of the Everton game. Yeah,
definitely. There's a lot of score predictions coming in. We've got Dougie Fresh, he's saying 4-0. Old Trafford Faithful, 2-0 at half-time United. Interesting. So I don't know whether he thinks 2-0 at half-time then goes on to being 2-0 at full-time. Yep. After 30 years, Scouser stole our title, says 7-2. You'd take a 7-2, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd like to see some goals. Cavani with 4 of them. Nice.
So you've gone 4-1. I'm going to go, I think 2-0. I think we have looked good defensively. I mean, you almost have to put that Istanbul Besiktas game to one side because it was so uncharacteristically diabolical. even worse, I would say, mistakes, certainly for the first goal, than we saw against Tottenham even. Some of that was like, we headed it up in the air, it was a bad header. But that, not marking a man on the halfway line. I think other than that game, we've actually looked pretty decent defensively in the last few weeks. So I reckon we'll get a clean sheet against West Brom, who are struggling to create chances themselves. So I'm going to go 2-0. But we've got a few people in the comments there saying, sorry, but it feels like a 2-1 to West Brom.
No chance.
It's not great, is it? 3-0 with a Rashford brace and a McSauce 30-yarder. We haven't seen one of them for a while, have we? McSauce 30-yarder since against City.
Oh, yeah.
City. Well, that's probably more than 30 yards, wasn't it?
Awesome, how's
we're going to be having the team news coming up very soon with Adam and Ronaldo, so that'll be coming out. Also, we've got Stephen Howson's little opposition preview coming very soon.
Scouting report. He's had a proper in-depth look at what West Brom are all about.
If we get 1, we'll get 4. Joe, you are looking ravishing.
Yep.
Thank you very much. We've got a comment there as well saying that Matic will start, and that's according to Jonathan Schrager, a journalist as well. He's been talking about no Pogba. He was talking about Matic starting. Nemanja Matic is someone who we've seen a lot of Fred and McTominay recently, and for that to happen, Matic has been on the bench.
Yeah.
I would say personally, the best we've seen from Matic in the last 18 months has been alongside Paul Pogba in a deeper role. Now, if this is true that Matic is going to be starting and Paul Pogba isn't even in the squad, who are you playing there?
I'd like if that's the case, I'd like to see Matic with Bruno and Van der Beek. I think that you can do that. I think you can do that. There's another comment in there wait for that Lindelof and Maguire to start at centre half, which I think is a good thing. I think people were kind of worried that Lindelof was a doubt ahead of this game with a back problem, and I think that whilst Twanzebe's done okay, did well against PSG, did really struggle against Istanbul. So I'm happy to see Lindelof and Maguire playing. And
you were talking there before about Matic and Bruno. Do you think that you were saying you want Van der Beek in there? We've got a little thing from Sam Stone here. I'll read out in just a second. You were saying before you wanted Van der Beek and Bruno in there, which obviously you would think, is that too attacking? But maybe you think Matic can hold that line by himself.
I think that's what Matic does very well. He is very he's very disciplined in that sense. Not in the way, because I think McTominay and Fred kind of make up for the fact that they do get caught out of position a little bit by just their overall work rate and the fact that they buzz about and the fact that they kind of cover each other. Whereas Matic can just sit in there, can do that job on his own a lot of times. I don't think he brings as much going forward as Fred and McTominay. And I think when the other team's going to have a lot of the ball, I think Fred and McTominay do a better job there. But when we're going to have a lot of the ball, just having Matic in there, I think you can play both Bruno and Van der Beek in there.
Interesting here, it says, tweet from Sam and Stone. He's talking, quoting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the pre-match programme. He said, before tonight's game, players on international duty have had to take a COVID test and haven't been able to train until they record a negative result. And it apparently can take up to 24 hours to get a result, and it's not certain that we will have all of our players together before match day. So that could explain certain people like Paul Pogba, who's been potentially not going to be playing, potentially Greenwood as well, although he's been in the country. So you'd assume he would be available if he wasn't fit or not fit.
Me and Steve had this conversation on the press conference reaction yesterday, where we're talking about how ridiculous this international break is and all the things it brings into this equation in these COVID times that shouldn't need to be brought into it. There's enough going on with having to get tested every day at training, with having to isolate, with having to have people in masks at certain places. Yeah. Certain people can't be in the stadium, certain people can't do this, can't do that. And then just in the middle of it, sending them all over the world just doesn't make
any sense. It is bizarre, isn't it?
Just doesn't make any sense. Where there's other regulations, like the whole thing about tellers, which wasn't needed to be brought up, is the fact that he was trying to get into Uruguay that has a different thing to England and a different thing to Brazil, where you have to do a test whether you've been positive or not, and it's crazy to me.
Before we head over to Stephen Howson's opposition scouting, today's Watchalong is actually our first ever sponsored Watchalong, isn't it?
It is.
You may have been seen on the channel recently. We've been sponsored by Manscaped, which is, how would you describe Manscaped? Would you call it a below the belt grooming solution for men and boys?
That's about it. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Most men.
And sometimes in the past I've trimmed my nuts.
Right, okay.
And you know when you cut yourself and it's not great?
It's a painful experience.
It's very painful. Well, actually, with Manscaped, you don't get any of that because I've got this ceramic blade, right? And it does this.
It's good.
And if there was no COVID, you could put your hand in there and you wouldn't even get a nick because of how perfect it is. But yeah, today's Watchalong is sponsored by Manscaped. And if you use the code Paddock, WAL, that's Paddock Watchalong. Yeah. It's a bit shorter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Paddock WAL, you get 20% off and free shipping at checkout. So make sure you check that out.
Links below.
Link, of course, is in the description as well. So if you want to check that out, they've got all sorts. They've got the Lawnmower 3.0. They've got all sorts of packages for your package. It's fantastic, isn't it? It's spick and span down there. And I noticed something else.
Go on.
Less smell. So we're going to be heading over now to Stephen Howson's opposition preview. He's been looking at West Brom, finding out what they're good at, trying to find out what they're bad at. Although I think there may be more to find of the bad than the good. But yeah, Stephen Howson is here now with his opposition scouting report for West Bromwich Albion.
Right then, it's almost time for kickoff. Before we get into that, let's have a look at the opposition then. Slaven Bilic's West Brom. What do we need to be looking out for? Now, West Brom are really struggling in the league, and despite the position and the sheer lack of wins, they've actually been pretty decent at times. Now, I will quantify it by saying at times because they've also been pretty poor, and I worry for them because defensively they are all over the place, really all over the place. Now, half of this season he's lined up in a 4-1-4-1 formation. The other half of this season he's lined up in a 5 at the back. Notably, the 5 at the back has come against Tottenham, Chelsea, Leicester and Everton, so dangerous sides. And I expect that he's going to line up with a 5-4-1 at Old Trafford. That would make the most sense to me. United graduate Sam Johnson will be in goal for West Brom, with Ivanovic a slight doubt due to the COVID-19 outbreak before the international break. Ajayi, Bartley and Dara O'Shea should start in central defence as the back three. Furlong and Townsend are going to provide the width as fullbacks or wing-backs. And then you would expect Mateus Pereira and Diangana on the right and the left, respectively. Jake Livermore's been an ever-present and actually been pretty decent at times for them in central midfield, and he's going to be partnered by Sawyers, Gallagher or Kravinovic. They've kind of been rotating in and out each week. Callum Robertson is also unavailable after testing positive for COVID, so I reckon it's going to be Karlan Grant that will pose the main threat as the sole striker. Starman for them is definitely going to be Mateus Pereira. He missed West Brom's last game against Tottenham, and potentially that might have been why they did look a little bit more solid in that game. He tested positive for COVID. You can see the sort of impact that COVID's having on football at the moment. It's wiping out teams like West Brom. But the international break should have given him enough time to recover, and providing there's no complications, I expect him to feature for West Brom. There is no doubt that he is the one to watch for West Brom, for United to be looking out for. He is the one that's going to cause us problems down that right wing. Now, in my own preview, I went for United playing a 4-2-3-1. I think that this is also a game that United could play a back three. I think it could really go either way. Solskjaer does like to match up what the opposition are doing, even if he thinks he's got a much better side than the opposition. I'm not sure what that is all about, but I also think that if he plays a 3 at the back against West Brom, one, it gives the license for Alex Telles to push up, because otherwise Telles might have his wings clipped a little bit dealing with Pereira. Pushing him up by playing a back three allows him to just focus solely on getting forward and providing width for United. I also believe there's a little bit of a doubt over Marcus Rashford's shoulder injury, which kept him away from international duties. So unless something's changed, I would expect Marcus Rashford could be a doubt. Now, because he's a doubt, if you take him out of the side, you're looking at potentially Marshall on the left with Cavani down the middle and Mason Greenwood on the right-hand side. If he doesn't want to do that, and I would understand why he would not want to move Martial to the left to accommodate Cavani, what he could do is he could go with a 2 up front if he plays a back 3. Now, that could be Cavani and Marshall. That could be Greenwood and Marshall. That could be Greenwood and Cavani. And then you've got some firepower on the bench. I think he always likes to have an option off the bench. If he doesn't play any of those, or if he goes with a 3, you're looking at Ighalo being our only option off the bench. Obviously, you got Dan James after scoring the goal that he scored in internationals this week as well. But I think that going with a back 3 gives him a lot more options. It means he could play somebody else in midfield, potentially, or it means he could just go with 2 forwards up front. And I think that might be what he does. Like I said, I went with the 4-2-3-1 in my own preview. But I would say, we're going to find out in a few minutes, but let's say I would understand it if he went with a back 3 in this instance because of the shoulder injury with Marcus. Now, what to expect from West Brom? Set pieces. and I mean, they're not even amazing at them, but it is the standout aspect of their game. It's attacking set pieces. Matty Pereira has got a pinpoint delivery from dead ball situations. West Brom scored a total of 18 goals from set pieces in the Championship last season. Ajayi, O'Shea, Bartlett all pose a major threat from set pieces in these situations. They contributed 10 goals last season between them from corners and wide free kicks. They're three towering defenders. They like to start off in a little cluster and then bomb burst and cause havoc and try and create some sort of space in the box, hoping that one of them connects with the ball. United are going to have to be on high alert for this. It's something that we've been weak at, and we could easily be caught off guard with it. They've also got quite explosive attacks, but what's interesting is I don't know if I could classify West Brom's defensive tactic as being a low block, because they don't actually deny the space that well. If you look at the goals and the chances that they concede, one of the reasons for me why they are weak and why I think they're going to struggle in the Premier League this season is even though that the back line manages to get back and cover space very well, there's such a massive gap in between the defensive line and the midfield line. And that is where I expect someone like Bruno Fernandez, I mean, even Mason Greenwood, if he's given the opportunity, to run riot. That's the sort of place where you get time and space on the ball. And that's why West Brom have been so poor. They're getting killed in these areas because they are not doing it in these areas. So that's where I would think United could take advantage of West Brom. Their explosive attacks aren't because they sit in a low block like you've seen maybe a Jose Mourinho side do. You sit and you counter and you wait and then you go boom and you use your pace to do that. They don't actually do that. They try and pick their moment. They kind of hold possession when they win it back a little bit and try and probe. When they decide they're going to do it, or maybe they're looking for triggers to initiate their fast counters, but they don't do it every single time they regain possession. Sometimes they'll knock it around midfield a little bit. Sometimes they'll maybe play it around the defence. Sometimes they'll try and slowly build up play. Sometimes they'll win possession back and they'll look to try and attack a vulnerable area of the opposition, and they'll try and use the wingers, Diangana and Pereira, and they'll try and attack in behind the fullbacks, which is an area that I think certainly United need to be wary of. They also probably pull one of the central midfielders in, and when they attack, they don't attack in numbers. Now, a worry for United is if they lull us into a false sense of security, if they have Harry Maguire pulled right up the pitch, up to the halfway line, and they decide next time we get the ball, we're on. Callum Grant, Matty Pereira, getting in behind someone like Harry Maguire, it's going to be very easy for them. If we go to a 3, I'd love to see Axel Tuanzebe be involved, because I think that his pace could be required on the counter in this one. But it's going to be very interesting to see how all this goes down. How do United win this game? It's going to be Martial or Cavani or Greenwood. Whoever leads the line needs to lead the line like a striker. They need to drag that defence around, and they need to keep that defence held high. If whoever we play up front, and Martial's guilty of this, and Mason Greenwood is certainly guilty of this, if they start to drop deep looking for the ball, all that's going to happen is the defensive line is going to step up. And as the defensive line steps up, it limits the space in between the defence and the midfield. And that's where United can get undone in a game like this. If we don't let them have any room, or if we don't let them constrict our room when we've got the ball, if we can keep that back four pressed back, the gap in between defence and midfield is quite high, or it has been quite high. And for me, that's something that United can exploit. That's an area that United can start to gain some sort of foothold with possession, and that's how United are going to create chances against this West Brom team, because the gap in between defence and midfield is massive, and it's not even a narrow defence. There's gaps in between the defence. Get men in the box, and United will create opportunities in this game. Now, traditionally this season, United have been poor against the teams that were expected to turn up and smash, and we've been better against the teams where we're expected to struggle a little bit. And we've been shy at home. So this does not bode well. But I think the time for all of those little jinxes to be turned around and come into our favour is nigh. So I think that United are going to get the 3 points in this one. Team news is out in a second, and I'll be back for the watch-along very soon. So keep it locked. I'll see you in a bit.
Yes, guys, what's going on? We are back. Myself and Ronaldo are here. We got the team news coming up very, very soon. So hopefully that will be us in a couple of minutes. How you feeling, Ronnie?
Feeling all right, but I'm going to ask you a question quickly.
All right.
Why don't I have no Coke? Why do I have not have one?
I think it's kind of like every man for themselves in this building. So you just got to look after yourself, mate. And I looked after myself.
And I haven't. But I'm feeling all right.
Schoolboy error, really, isn't it?
Other than being thirsty, I'm all right. I'm looking forward to the game, actually, which I'm not been saying too often.
Are you thirsty for goals?
Actually, I'm, you know. It's been a while since, actually, other than obviously the game against Red Bull, is what I like to call them, Red Bull. But we've not really seen too many games as often as we used to in the past with United, where we used to kind of just put teams away like this, especially at Old Trafford. So I'm actually thirsty for goals very much. I'm hoping to see goals from Martial. Obviously, he's not had the greatest starts to the season. And I'm part of Martial FC. I know you are a little bit as well.
A little bit?
What, you're the governor?
I'm the president.
So I'm hoping to see a bit of goals, some goals from him. Just goals from anyone in general.
I think this is a game that we need to have the performance and the result, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like if we just scrape a win, I don't think we're all going to be happy with that.
No, I don't think so. I feel you're right, because I know it's a results game and it's a results business, but if you're not seeing the team take strides in the right direction, I know as United fans, you are smart people. We're not going to be convinced by that. So we need to see a convincing win. We need to see goals galore. We need to see players showing a bit of urgency that they haven't been showing in recent games. And we just need to leave tonight being completely and wholeheartedly satisfied with the performance and the result. So I agree with you.
Most definitely. We need goals. Gunny89 with a super chat says is expecting is expecting a big performance to take the pressure off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tonight. Which is, I know we all need a big performance, don't we? There's no room for anyone to say, there's an excuse here, there, or everywhere, because we've had enough time now. You should have at least, the players in that team putting in a performance. You should have the fitness there. You should have all of that. There's no excuses anymore for no pre-season, this, that, and the other. So we do need to put in a performance. Gunny. It's a he. Sorry, Gunny.
I was thinking, you got to cover your bases, though, innit?
Yeah, you have to. Come on. We know that it's not just males that tune into the show. Right. Is the team news out? Are we going to get a shout when the team news is out? We're an hour from kickoff. Jose Mourinho's Spurs are beating Manchester City 2-0 at this moment in time. While we're waiting for the team news. Typical, innit? They're going to win the league, these Spurs.
Just scrape it, because we've watched the game, innit? And do you think this is a true reflection of how the game's gone?
I don't know, but I think it's not like Jose hasn't planned for this.
Yeah.
This is a Jose Mourinho performance. So whilst you can say Man City have been the better team or they've had more of the ball or whatever, but have they done enough with it? I don't think they have. They're missing Sergio Aguero. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is a top finisher in that respect. And they got that spam merchant spamming in crosses.
What, De Bruyne? You know what? You know what I'm going to say about that, what you talked about? With the Jesus situation, yeah, he's literally had... I remember the statistic last season showing that Jesus... What you on about, Cam? Trying to do a show here, man. Anyway, basically I saw a statistic from Jesus that said that since he's come to the league, he's missed more big chances than any other player. And that's been a long... Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I can imagine that though, because I know we're going off topic here, but we're waiting for the team news. Look at how many chances they create. Yeah. Look at how much possession they have of the ball. If you look at all of those kind of things, then, you know, you can see why that happens. Look, the team news is in.
Do you know who's the most clinical, though, before you move on?
Can you just shut up? We got the team news now.
No, because you'll like the answer, Martial.
Oh, right. All right, we could take some Martial propaganda sliding through before the team news. The team news is in. David De Gea is in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Alex Telles are in the back four. Fred, Matic, Mata, Bruno, Rashford, and Martial. So Mata keeping his spot in the team. Martial back up front in the Premier League after sitting out his suspension. Alex Telles gets a start. Is this his first Premier League start?
This is his first...
His Premier League debut?
Premier League debut, indeed.
His Premier League debut confirmed by Statman Cam over there. Coming for Statman Dave's job very, very soon. On the bench, we've got Dean Henderson, Axel Twanzebe, Brandon Williams, Daniel James, Scotty Too Hotty, Donny van der Beek and Edinson Cavani. No Paul Pogba, no Mason Greenwood, who are all believed to be out of the squad. Now, we also heard in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's programme notes that the reason some players have missed the squad is that when they returned from international duty, I doubt that will, because Greenwood never went on international duty. So this is probably the reason why Paul Pogba's not in the squad and a few others. They came back from international duty. They had to wait for their results from the coronavirus tests. Results didn't come through in time, so some of them had to sit out training and subsequently sit out this game, which could explain some of that. Because you'd expect, even if Paul Pogba wasn't going to start, he'd at the very least be on the bench, and he's not. Mason Greenwood not in the team. Also, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mentioned he'd been ill and missed some training sessions over the last couple of weeks. But I imagine the boys are just, when I say the boys, I mean the staff are just looking after Mason Greenwood a little bit and just managing his game time. So what do you think of this team? A 4-2-3-1, Fred Matic, so we've dropped McTominay or rotated McTominay, Rashford, Fernandez, Mata, Marshall in that front 5-6.
Do you know what? I'm pretty surprised by the inclusion of Matic. Obviously, I heard little murmurings in the past hour or so that he could be starting the game, but didn't actually expect to see it, especially in a game like this when you're at home against West Brom. You're expected to have a lot of the ball and not having to do too much basically defensive work, hopefully anyway. Obviously, you're not too sure with how United have been recently, but I'm actually kind of surprised. Obviously, Fred deserves to start from his performance last game. Matic is the only surprise inclusion. I can see why he's included Mata. If they do go into a little bit of a low block, he's quite creative, and he's still in his old age. Obviously, his legs are gone, but he's still capable of unlocking a door. So, other than that, there's not really too many surprises. Obviously, Tellez with his debut, it's going to be interesting to see how he fares. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it, but I'm just kind of surprised with the Matic inclusion. What do you think about that, though?
Yeah, I think it's one, in terms of a lot of people are saying two defensive midfielders, which are, I think that's the bane of the FIFA era, because you see, like, you never really see the initial CAM used, CDM used before the FIFA era. Now, look, I'm not saying we haven't got two deeper lying midfielders there, but it's very unlikely both of them will be sitting deep throughout the game. And I actually think the reason why we played maybe Nemanja Matic instead of Scott McTominay is because Fred will be allowed to advance further up the field, meaning Nemanja Matic can sit in a little bit more naturally. I think Scott McTominay, when he sits there alongside Fred sometimes, does disappear a little bit. I think we can see him do that at times. And Nemanja Matic is probably the most experienced. If you allow Matic to sit in between Lindelof and Maguire, Alex Tellez, who will be bombing forward, he can get forward. Wan-Bissaka can get forward. It allows you a little bit more flexibility. And obviously, Mata will be cutting in a lot as well, which means Wan-Bissaka has to go forward and you create the width. So we know that when those players do bomb on, Nemanja Matic is the most natural of the midfielders within our team in relation of sitting in between those centre halves. Now, so people are also mentioning, obviously there's a lot of comments about why Paul Pogba isn't starting and all that. I'm not that concerned about it. I think it's just down to injury. So I don't want to talk about that too much. But we'll talk about Donny van der Beek. Ian Steele saying, which I think is a bit of an overreaction, but nevertheless, a lot of United fans will be feeling this way. He says, why does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hate Donny van der Beek? Now, I must point out, Donny van der Beek wasn't starting for Holland either, so it's not just like it's Ole who doesn't start him. But what did you make of that? And Lee Binion with a super chat says the same thing. Why does Ole hate Donny van der Beek so much? Ronaldo, what do you think about Donny van der Beek's exclusion from another 11?
That was almost, obviously, you kind of notice it, but I almost didn't take in too much because it's been a normal occurrence, really, with Donny van der Beek not making the first 11. But it's just got to come down to he just might not be in, I wouldn't want to say Solskjaer's good books, but he might just not be someone that when he's in training and he's kind of setting up a game plan or his shape, Donny van der Beek just might not fit into it. And maybe what us United fans have maybe not realised is the fact that Donny van der Beek's best position is basically Bruno Fernandez's position. So maybe the reason why Donny van der Beek doesn't start is because Bruno Fernandez is ahead of him, and that's basically the bottom line. Bruno Fernandez is playing where Donny van de Beek wants to play. And Bruno Fernandez is going to start the game, and if he starts the game, then probably Donny van de Beek won't.
Now, I am someone that thinks Warren with the super chat says we're finishing 7th, so he's obviously not confident, although it'd be an improvement on where we are currently. Now, Donny van de Beek can obviously play deeper lying as well in the 6 or the 8 role. He's not always a 10, and we've seen him play in those positions for Ajax. Could it just be that Fred's form is so good that it's harder to leave him out? And obviously, whilst he can play 6, he's not a natural 6 like Matic, so you wouldn't play him there ahead of Matic. Fred's doing so well that would you start him ahead of Fred, who wasn't on international duty, spent the time in England, and was able to just train?
Do you know what I mean? I think it might be like one of them stylistic things, because Donny van de Beek might have been able to play deeper in the system that he was in at Ajax and in Dutch football, but maybe Solskjaer doesn't see it in him having the kind of discipline and the box-to-box nature in him, or something might be missing where he doesn't quite trust him in a deeper role than playing number 10. Because when I've watched Donny van de Beek play, he does very much look like a lot like a more attack-minded of a midfield type of player, someone that would be more suited to where Bruno's kind of playing a little bit of free roam quite high up the pitch. So I don't really see where he kind of fits in. I think that might be the issue. And obviously, with foreign players coming to the league, they need time sometimes to kind of acclimatise, and that just might be the issue. We might not have obviously seen the best of Donny van de Beek.
Can we have that West Brom team back, please?
Yeah.
Sorry, finish what you were saying.
No, I'm saying we've probably obviously not seen the best of him. I don't think we should give up on him just yet. He'll obviously get his opportunities, but as of now, they're just Bruno's ahead of him, and I think that's just might actually be the main simple reason.
We've seen it. I hate to bring them up when we don't need to, but we saw Fabinho at Liverpool, other players at other clubs. They've taken their time to bring players through. Ferran Torres wasn't starting week in, week out for City when he first came in. Nigel Happy Nige doesn't say anything with his super chat, but he has sent one in. Thank you very much. The team news for West Bromwich Albion: Sam Johnston's in goal, so he returns. He was part of that Youth Cup winning team with Paul Pogba, Ravel Morrison, and all those guys.
Hopefully he lets some in.
Furlong, Ajayi, Ivanovic, Bartley, who's their captain, Townsend, Pereira, who's a pretty talented player, Romain Sawyers, who is a celebrity in my end. He's obviously a great footballer as well. Gallagher, Diangana, Grant. On their bench, they got Button, O'Shea, Harper, Phillips, Krovinovic, Robson, Carnu, and Robinson. Samuel says, and I believe this is in regards to Donny van de Beek, with his super chat, says, mountains out of molehills, it's called depth, in regards to Donny van de Beek, I assume. The Manchester United 11 again for you guys is David De Gea in goal, Alex Telles and Aaron Wan-Bissaka as our fullbacks. Then we have Maguire and Lindelof at the heart of that defence, with Matic, Fred, Fernandez, Mata, Rashford, Anthony Martial up top. We need a big performance from that front four. Particularly, we need goals from Anthony Martial. Have you been concerned by his performances? I know the goals haven't come, but what did you make of his performances when he's been in the team?
When he's been in
3 games.
Yeah, it's true. When he's been in the team, obviously he's not shown much either, and obviously people are throwing all the stats out there about the lack of shots and the lack of shots on target and so forth. That's been made. I've been slightly concerned, but I believe in Martial's ability is too much to kind of give up on him. And obviously he had a great season last season, and I just think with players as good as Martial, it's just a matter of time really before he turns it round. And then when the purple patch kind of comes, I think it's going to come obviously with force basically, so it's not going to be like you won't score 1-2. He's going to score probably 3, then 2, then 1. I think it will come.
I think when you look at the performances as well, obviously against Spurs, he won the penalty, got sent off. That was his own fault. But there's been bits in games where he's done well. I think if you look at the game against Everton, I thought him playing in that number 9 role was a big part of sewing together that. Yeah. Now you're in danger of, if you go 10, 15 games without scoring, in danger of kind of falling into that Firmino category.
No, I don't
where we don't want him
far
to.
Off it.
But he's a much better finisher, and surely those goals will just be around the corner. Did you watch him for France?
No, I didn't watch. I don't rarely ever watch international football.
Yeah, I watched him for France, and it was the same. his performances were good.
Yeah.
And then the finish, which is something that rarely leaves him, is what's been missing from him. Snatching at chances.
Because he snatched that one at Everton, innit? Left foot. Like he snatched that one there, which we're not used to seeing from him because we talked about how clinical he usually is. So I honestly am not that worried. I think he'll turn it around, and I think you think he will, innit? You got belief in him. I know you're not.
I think he'll score today. I think we'll win by a few goals, and Martial will score and go 3-0 United. Martial score. What's your score prediction?
I said 3-1. But looking at that West Brom team, and there's obviously a little bit of ability in it. Do you think there's enough in that to kind of cause them some problems? Obviously, you talked about Pereira. I know Pereira's a good player. Pereira's probably their most talented player.
If you look at Pereira, who will provide width, he's got skill, a little bit of pace. He can cause you problems in behind. Romain Sawyers, who has the passing ability.
Yeah. So
if he was to pick the ball up on the edge of his box and look for a ping, there could be problems for Manchester United. I hate to say it, but like someone like Hal Robson-Kanu, obviously he's not clinical, he's not prolific. But you could just imagine him scoring.
You can imagine him, Welsh
like,
legend in it.
But coming off the bench and scoring. So
Reading days years ago, innit? Was it?
What have you made of Harry Maguire? Because obviously he had a dip in form. He's been playing better. He got that goal for England. He's been coming back into a little bit of form. Scored for United against Newcastle. What have you made of his performances?
I think he's come on. Obviously, he's come on under a lot of pressure, and that's obviously started from the scrutiny surrounding his little holiday issue. And I don't know whether that kind of affected him going into the season, and he's not really been playing that well to begin with. But I think in the past couple of weeks, he's played well. I think he was borderline man of the match against Everton as well. Obviously, coming up against Calvert-Lewin was the in-form striker at the time. So I've been impressed with him, and I hopefully it continues, because obviously someone put in the chat that obviously that Matic might have been playing for height, because West Brom are quite a physical and tall team, so there could be problems from set pieces. So that might be why he's playing as well. And Maguire has to come in, he has to come big when it comes to that, obviously, because we talked about Pereira and the quality that he brings. He's also great on set piece delivery. So you don't want to give too many free kicks away in our own final third, and we don't want to give too many corners away, because they've got height and Pereira's got good delivery, so that could be a problem. But hopefully Maguire and the rest of the defence kind of deal with that area, really. Now,
we've got Stephen Howson in the comments. We've got an action-packed show for you guys today as well. Obviously, the watch-along starts at 8. MUTV have confirmed that Paul Pogba is injured. So, as usual, people just create whatever story they want and then run with it. So, Paul Pogba has a knock. Hopefully, back in action for midweek. We got a Champions League game midweek, haven't we? On the Tuesday against Istanbul Başakşehir. So, it'd be good to have him back for that. So you're going for a win. I'm going for a win. We're all feeling confident. Steve's asked for some predictions. In there, we've got 1 minute to the pre-match show. We're good at filling a minute. Sinead's got a super chat saying he can play where Mata plays, because Mata plays like a second cam linking Bruno, because he's not a winger as such. That's a good shout, Sinead. Yeah. She's talking about Donny van der Beek there, by the way, as well. Old Trafford Faithful says 3-1 to United. Ross says 3-0. Anish says 2-0. Yomi says 4-1 United. Ulrich says 3-0 United with a super chat, and says Tony, Rash, and I'm assuming he means Tellez, and 2 assists from Bruno and 1 from Marcus. We've got 15 seconds till we go to the pre-match show, so let's get the energy up in this bitch. Get hitting that like button on the video as well. Keep your comments flowing through. Right now, we're going over to the pre-match show. Who's on the pre-match show? I don't know. You'll see in a sec.
Thanks, guys. Now that the team is in, get your predictions into the comments below. The guys will go through that when we go over to the watch-along. On the watch-along today, we have Mr. Stephen Howson, we have Adam Mckola, and also Joe Smith. At half-time, me and Ronaldo will be here to read through some more of your comments, to go through what you're saying on Twitter. So make sure you're tweeting us at #PaddockMatchday. Make sure you head over to our Instagram. Make sure Ronaldo will be on there, so make sure you're messaging him. We'll go through a few of them at half-time. But before then, as always, you can get your predictions into this pre-game show using the email address paddockmatchday@gmail.com. So if you email them in on the Thursday, the Friday before the Saturday game, you can feature here. So here's some of your guys' predictions for this week, as well as some familiar faces.
Hi, James of Stretford. Paddock United playing West Brom today in the Premier League. think it should be an easy win this for United. It's not been ideal so far in the league, especially at home, and I think United really need to push on now from those wins that we've actually been getting so far in the league.
Hey everyone, Angelina here with my prediction for the West Brom game. I think it's been really good that they've had the international break, a bit of time for the dust to settle.
I'm going to try and stay a bit positive this time because I watched back my last one and I was very dour and a bit down about United and going on about how poor we've been. But I'm going to stay positive. We've had a bit of a break, international break. We've had a few players who didn't go international, so they've had a bit of time off.
My prediction for the Manchester United versus West Bromwich Albion game is that United will win 3-0. That's what I said on the preview. I think that regardless of how inconsistent we've been, you look at West Brom, they've not won any games in the Premier League this season. They're sitting in 18th for a reason. They haven't got any players, I think, that will get into Manchester United's team. So this is a must-win game, and a game I expect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men to win 3-0. And I'm going for an Anthony Martial hat-trick.
Hi, I'm Josh and I think United will win today 3-1.
International break is over. Manchester United are back, this time at Old Trafford against West Brom. My score prediction, 3-0 Manchester United.
West Brom, what do we know about them? Well, there shouldn't be much of a problem. I mean, they're probably going to be around the sort of relegation zone this year. So I think United should be able to. It's one of those games where United have to win. It's kind of that simple. If they win here today, there'll be no questions of it. If they don't, then obviously the whole thing is going to go around in circles again about whether Solskjaer is the right man or whatever. But I'm still sticking with him. I think he is, and I think United should be able to win today. I'm going to say 3-1.
So Manchester United are playing West Brom today, and I think that Manchester United are going to win. West Brom haven't won a game all season. They've only drawn.
And I think Bruno Fernandez will score first. I think both Van der Beek and Tellez will start because Oli will want to put a lot of trust into him.
Hello, it's Ronaldo here with a little prediction for the West Brom game on the weekend, and I predict that it will be a comfortable win.
And I'm going to be confident with this one. I think that Man United will win. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory, and I would like to see Mason Greenwood on the score sheet if he's playing, and Pogba.
So I'm just going to stay positive and say we're going to win. I'm going to say it'd be pretty close though, probably 2-1, something like that. So yeah, I think we'll get the 3 points, no problem. But I think it'll be a closer game than what the majority will think. So I'm going to say 2-1. I don't think we're still capable of keeping clean sheets, but we're capable of scoring a couple of goals. So yeah, let's stay positive and say we're going to win.
Marcus Rashford double if he does play. If he doesn't, then so be it. But I think 2 goals from Rashford and Martial gets back on the score sheet, and we run away 3-1 winners, because I don't believe enough that we'll get a clean sheet, because they do offer a little bit of danger.
Let's get the 3 points and hopefully get some sort of form going. Come on, United.
Come on, United.
They played well against Tottenham in the last match. I think they'll make it difficult, but I think we'll break through and win 3-1, and then be the first time this season we win 2 games in a row. So come on, the Reds.
They've lost 5. So yeah, I think Manchester United are going to win this game. I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to say 2-0, and I'm going to say Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandez.
Paddock match day, not here. West Bromwich Albion, known as the Baggies. When I think of them, I think of the baggy indie dance era of Manchester. Flares, Kafgan shirts, bucket hats, bowler haircuts. Gotta be a loose fit. Oh, brings me back.
Hello, Stretford Paddock. My match day prediction for Manchester United against West Bromwich is a 3-1 win for Reds, but let's get our first home win of the season. Come on, boys.
The response we saw against Everton was actually a really good one, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going, because we had those defeats to Arsenal, they were against Istanbul Başakşehir as well, and it seemed like there was a real angst against Solskjaer, and it felt like if he lost against Everton, there was going to be a lot of questions asked about him, but he didn't. He won that, and hopefully United can continue the momentum that they got on that game and win.
Well, these Baggies should be beatable, but which United are we going to see tonight? I think we'll win, but I don't think we'll step on them. I reckon 2-0, and Bruno will be the one to bang the drums, because this is how it feels to be a United fan. Can you dig it? Just a notch there.
Thanks again for sending in your predictions. So like I said, every single week you can reach out, paddockmatchday@gmail.com, and send in your predictions. As always, Mckola and Howson have been talking on their usual uncensored podcast. This week they've been looking at where they want to go when all this is over and their ultimate football holiday.
They need to keep things open next time when they're there, don't they? We
Yeah,
can't go Perth.
how mad's this, right? For those that don't know, Perth basically shuts at like...
Perth's on lockdown every week.
6 p.m.
Every week lockdown.
It was about 10:30, wasn't it, at night?
It was
That
10
was
o'clock.
it, done.
Who's group did we meet again? The rapper. I remember he was with. Remember the rappers?
J. Cole or something?
No, it weren't J. Cole. I was. Who done This Is America? Don't catch me slipping that. Who done that? Donald Glover. Childish Gambino. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
His whole. So we were there, and
Didn't,
Joe started chatting
alright,
one of
never mind.
Childish Gambino's.
I was going to keep it anonymous, but yeah, all right.
Oh, sorry. Nothing happened.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was good. It was.
Apart
good.
from everywhere shutting it, like.
Yeah, it's on lockdown. It's like lockdown here, tier 3 lockdown.
Yeah.
Pubs have to shut at 10.
But just that shit.
And Sneaky Tony's was like in Chinatown, and it was like in this
I tried
back
to use my
street.
Twitter as ID as well.
I've used my Twitter as ID before.
The guy was like, "You can't come in without ID," and I was like,
Verified.
I know this is going to sound utterly mental, but did I get in the club though?
Yeah.
Yes, I fucking did.
Yeah. I mean, where did we go after that? We went somewhere. It was like, "Do you sell beers?" And we're like, "Nah." It was horrible. It was horrible. But anyway.
Oh, when are we next? Are we on tour 2021?
No, if it's there, I'm there.
All right. I didn't ask that. Is there gonna be a tour 2021?
If I had to guess now.
Because I reckon they got to start planning that shit today.
I reckon they will be planning it.
On the off chance.
And they'll keep it a real simple one, whether it's
what, like
Scandinavia
real
or
Prestatyn,
you never know.
Aberystwyth.
Scandinavia would actually be good.
Not hot though.
Not yeah. We need an America. We need.
One of them where I go. I don't want to move. It's too hot.
Yeah, we need
one of them places. Wherever that is, I need that.
We need that. We need to go. Yeah, please. I hope the tour happens next year. I genuinely do, because we need it. And if you think about it, the timing, like you're probably not going to get a flight in the next 3 months. So it'd be the first.
Well, they reckon all the vaccines might be out by, like, expect everyone to have them by summer.
I'm going to wait for at least a couple months to see everyone else have theirs first.
Right, let me just fucking burst your bubble there. You ain't getting one of the first few
Oh,
months
good, anyway. It's a bit like a PlayStation fucking 5.
So that was in the Howson and Mckola Uncensored podcast. Mckola and Howson, I'm not quite sure which way they have it now, but I think Mckola and Howson Uncensored podcast. With our podcast, though, we are starting to do more and more for audio, so make sure you go over and check that out. We're doing a giveaway right now if you listen to our audio podcast. If you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, and in the review, be creative. We're going to pick the best one. Best one will receive a t-shirt from our merchandise store. Also, if you don't listen to it on iTunes, if you listen to it on Spotify or Google or wherever you listen to your podcasts, just share that podcast onto your social medias using hashtag Paddock Podcast. We'll take a look at the best ones of that, and we will be giving away a t-shirt to one of you guys. So make sure you're doing that. On the podcast, we will have an audio podcast on there 6 o'clock every single day, Monday to Friday. So Monday to Friday, 6 p.m, we will have an audio podcast. So make sure you're subscribing there. Make sure you're doing that. There's loads and loads more good stuff. And that means that we're going to sneak preview Howson and Mckola Uncensored every week, 1 hour before it goes live on YouTube. So if you want to be the first to listen to them, to have a waff about their holidays and have an argument about Pochettino, make sure you're subscribing to us on your favourite podcasting places, and you'll be able to listen to that an hour before it's released on YouTube. So not long now until kickoff, not long now until I pass you over to Howson, Mckola and Joe Smith for the watch along. But before that, we need a team talk, and here is Andy Tate's team talk.
Good evening on a Friday night. Manchester United play West Bromwich Albion, kick-off Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Solskjaer's press conference today is he's showing no serious injuries. The only ones missing are Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones and Luke Shaw. Marcus Rashford, hopefully he was training with him today and he'll be fit for Saturday. I expect a competitive match. This is our 5th game at Old Trafford now, and we've not won a game, not scored any goals. So we need to be up on the game now. And being the last match on a Saturday with these bizarre kick-off times, it's not nice in these pandemic days, is it? Not being at Old Trafford, but at least we can watch it and listen to it. So we have to get the 3 points and proceed against the West Brom, who are in the bottom 3. And without a win all season so far. And this is where United, all the players now, they have to up the game. You can't be excuses. You can't use no fans there being not there as an excuse. You've got to be on your game from the from the start to the finish. So all I can just say is, United, just be on your A game. Get some goals. Put a smile on the back. Put a smile on the fans' face. Because we need it. We're on lockdown. We're fed up. It's cold. It's dark. It's winter. And we've had enough. You got a fantastic away record. And this, you got to run a games between now and Christmas where they're winnable. Really winnable. And if you fall back on what you've done previously in the previous few games, you're gonna struggle, and the knives will be out for Solskjaer, and some players will get criticised. So you've got to be on your A game, all of you, from start to finish. So just get the win, get the confidence going, get the Old Trafford up and running, and we'll see where we go from there. So I'm going for a 2-0, but I would love a 5-0. God, that'd make my Saturday night, that. So, hate the dog, and did say Stretford Paddock is never ignored.
So that is all from me now. If you want to get involved all the way through, make sure you're using paddockmatchday@gmail.com to send in your predictions before every single Manchester United game. Make sure you're doing that. Also, get involved on Twitter, get involved in the comments. Make sure you're using #PaddockMatchday across all social medias. Me and Ronaldo will be back here at half-time to have a bit of a chat through them, have a look at how things are going. But now, over to the lads.
Woo!
There we are.
Ric Flair, bitch. What's going on, lads?
How you doing? You all right?
How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing very well. How
How
are
you
you
doing
doing?
now?
I'm good. I'm good.
I need you lot to just.
You're not
pick
feeling
up the-
this, are you?
Like,
you know why you're not feeling it?
I've come down from upstairs. Cam started depressing me. Like, sat there next to Ronaldo, who had already been in the presence of Cam for a good while. He had already been.
He got onto that
cammed.
level of right.
So then he just dragged the whole vibes down. This is what he's done to us. So we need
Good move.
Joe to just pump up the volume.
Well, United are going to beat West Brom today.
pump up
Proper
the
football's back. Proper football's back for a
Football's
start. So if you can't
back.
get bigged up for that, I don't know what you can get bigged up for. Man United are actually playing. None of this England nonsense. None of this, let's watch international Reds or whatever, where it's like, he's playing in Uruguay, he's playing in Finland, he's playing wherever. They're all playing for Manchester United. We get to watch all the boys all at once. Solskjaer's title run is starting tonight. Oh, we've seen, I don't know if it's finished yet, Spurs versus Man City, 2-0.
2-0, Tottenham.
If Jose can win the league, Ole can win the league.
Kill me now.
We've got a chance.
I nearly put my
We've got a
fiver on
If
up there.
Spurs can win the league, United can win the league, you mean?
Whatever, same difference.
Comparing a man
Same
that's
thing.
won 2 Norwegian titles to
Jose
Jose
Mourinho.
Mourinho is a bit mental. But let's not bring the vibes down. This
No.
is what you're doing, Joe. Talking about Mourinho.
I've just said we're going to win the league. What
No
more do you want from
tactics,
me?
just vibes.
Spurs. We are going to win the league today.
We're going to go above City when we win today, which is going to be great.
Is that
true?
typo meant to be there or not meant to be there?
What's it saying?
Because it literally said Mankscaped. I know. Is this some sort of little mank
No,
joke that you and
Yeah, that's a joke. That's a joke, that one.
That is, yeah.
That's a joke, that one.
But we will be pitching that to the people at
Change
Manscaped.
it. Change it. It's a really funny joke. Change it. Yeah, what are you thinking then for the game today, Adam?
I think we're going to win 5-0 with Martial scoring a hat-trick.
Really?
Confident.
That seems
We'll
like a
love
lie.
it.
What do you think?
A lie?
I went 4-1 before. I'm sticking with that.
Would I lie to you?
Martial's going to score 2, though.
No, not to me. You might, though, actually. Martial's going to score?
Yeah, fancy Martial today.
He bloody better do.
If he doesn't, then bloody hell, what's going on?
I'd say get rid of him.
What would it be? 9 games?
You say get rid of him, I will kill you. I've told you not to bring the vibes down. Jesus wept.
Do you believe that Martial...
is the best striker on the planet? Yes. What was your question?
Go on.
Do you
What
believe
were you
that
gonna say?
Martial's current run of form is down to anything more than just
I don't think
bad
it's
luck?
indicative of his form, if you get what I mean.
Right.
Because I actually think in there has been some good performances. The goals just haven't come with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Cam?
What's
again?
laughter?
Bringing the
For
vibes
some-
down. Is
God,
that
yeah,
what
you've
Cam's
got to
doing?
speak into the mic, mate.
I'm fucking. How many times the mic's in front of my face? What else do you want me to do?
Kiss it.
Jesus Christ! If
You
this
don't think
mic
it's
can't pick me up right now, then he's in the wrong business, isn't he? What you say, Cam?
This little beef.
Go on.
Yeah, so you don't
I'm
think it's
killing Cam today, I
indicative
think.
of his form as a whole?
Yeah. And Didier Deschamps pretty much said the same.
He's a bit of an idiot.
Great minds think alike, or idiots think alike in this case, as you've just said there. So you reckon he's going to get a goal today? What do you think he's going to get a hat-trick today? Do you actually think that? What do you actually think?
I
don't believe you think
I think he's
going to
get at least
5-0.
2 goals.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just hyping it.
And at most?
At least 2 goals. At most, as many as he wants.
He could score 5.
There's 90 minutes in a game.
Is there?
Dare to dream.
Right. Yeah.
Scored 90 goals.
Shall we go through the team news very quickly then? For anyone who hasn't seen it, or even if you have seen it, let's just run through that a little bit on the screen here. Now we've got De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Tellez for the first time in the league. We've got Matic, Fred, Mata, Fernandez, Rashford, and Martial. Now, there are a couple of rumours before this game started. I want to get into those. One of them was that Rashford wouldn't be playing. Obviously, he is. The other one...
Was that one started by Stephen Howson?
Might have been.
Maybe.
The other rumour was that Paul Pogba wouldn't even be in the squad, and that one has proven to be true. Now, we've seen notes from Ole, or an interview from Ole, where he said, or on MUTV, should I say, sorry, he's picked up a bit of a knock, Paul Pogba. He's got a knock. He's not going to be fit. Hopefully, he'll be fit for Tuesday. Now, Tuesday is 3 days away. So what kind of injury keeps you out on the Saturday, but he'll probably be back in 3 days?
A kick and an ankle.
An ankle, not.
What I'm suggesting, quite clumsily perhaps, is do you think there's
there's
more to
something
this?
else
That's
to it?
all
No.
I'm saying. You don't think there is? Simple
Because
as that.
he would be in the squad even if he wasn't in the 11.
Yeah, there's no reason for him
he would be on the bench.
There's no reason for him not to be on the bench. Even if the world's collapsing in on Paul Pogba, you're gonna put him on the bench for this game. There's no
I think
reason.
there's no
not to.
Greenwood as well.
I
think it would be daft to read into that too much. I just think it's one of them things. You've got a quick turnover of games. It's a home game against West Bromwich Albion. Pogba hasn't been in the greatest of form anyway, so do you need to risk him? No. So you kind of just let him sit it out. We got Istanbul. They'll play in that.
Costa del Manc says it's a hard knock live for Pog because he's got a hard knock, and that's his life pretty much, unfortunately. You just think it's as simple as that then? You're not reading anything.
That's what it is.
Well, you say that, but in the past, you've known managers to say someone's got a knock or
But why
they're not
are
fit.
you suggesting that would be happening now?
Well, the reason I'm suggesting it is because we know he's been fit for the last 8 weeks. We know that in that time he's been on the bench for I think 5 or 6 games. We know in that time he's played games from the start and not looked great.
So why wouldn't be? What is the difference?
Because
between last game and this game to not put him on
because
the bench?
and whilst you'll we've spoken about this before. Paul Pogba's quotes the other day about it's nice to be in France because everything's plain sailing. It's not like it is at my club. Potentially, is there a chance that someone's read into that and they don't like it?
That's not what he said.
What did he say then?
I don't want to talk about this. Well, I don't know why. It's just pointless.
There's
got
not
a game
because
coming on. We do what we criticise others for doing. So I'm not.
I'm
doing
asking
it.
you. I'm not
I
saying.
criticise
I'm asking
people
you
for this, so I'm not doing it because
What?
I'm a hypocrite.
What for asking about it?
Talking about he's got a knock. What else do you?
Okay.
What has he done to be dropped from the squad? Nothing.
All right, fair enough.
No
problems then. No problems then. Paul Pogba's been great this season. No problem. I'm not saying.
You said Paul Pogba. Sarcastically, you just said Paul Pogba. I've never said Paul Pogba's been great.
No, but you said what's he done to have been dropped? He's played badly.
No, from the squad.
Right.
From the squad. Listen to what I'm saying. He's been on the bench, and rightly so.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks. Now you're saying he's not in the squad. Is there something wrong? Like, is there a big secret behind this? Oh, what is it? You're being like the son.
I'm asking you a question.
You're being like the male.
And then you say, no.
And
that's
not
like that, is it?
Acknowledge it with a discussion because it's pointless.
Okay.
Like, it's like saying, oh, Mason Greenwood's not in the team. Oh, do you think it's something to do with, is he the new Ravel Morrison? Is that your next question, Joe? Is it?
I ain't got any questions on it.
You got a picture of me on there, you know.
Yeah.
Obsessed you.
Thinking of better times. I actually had to go to the newspapers for comparing Ravel Morrison to Mason Greenwood the other day, but thanks for pretending I didn't. Alex.
Oh, yeah.
You know that in football, no one has ever pretended a player was injured for political reasons. And as Adam has so clearly stated there, that's never happened before. And it's silly to even ask that.
No.
I'm not asking to defend anything. I'm not saying defend anything. All I'm saying is, what is your opinion?
Would Ollie be defending him over? That's what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, do you think that he's just injured as simple as it is, or do you think there's more to it? You say it's as simple as it is. Fine, that's it. That's all there is. That was the question. Do you think there's anything more to it? No.
Do you think there's anything more to Mason Greenwood? See, we're stupid to be asking that. It's dumb.
But there's a difference though again, isn't there? They're not the same player, so you can't say that.
If there is,
but there's more reasons to question why Greenwood wouldn't be in the team.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to.
If there is,
if
there is something magical going on, Ollie's dealing with it. Leave him to it.
And if it is, I know if it is, then
exactly.
I'm not
saying we need to
get
rid of Paul Pogba. Or there's something wrong with Paul Pogba.
But you are.
I'm not. I asked you what you think. I didn't say anything. I didn't say what I think.
But this is what I'm saying. You don't do that with any. Like we don't do this with any other player.
Of course we do.
No, we don't.
What do you think we did?
You've not said it about Mason. This is my point. You didn't say it about Mason.
We've talked about Mason Greenwood quite a lot over the last couple of weeks. Over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about Mason Greenwood multiple times. What's going on there? We've talked about that. We talked about Harry Maguire when he was dropped against PSG. Right,
my point here is people in the comments already pissing me off. Oh, why are you defending?
Get rid of the comments. I've got my name.
I'm not defending anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Pogba deserves to start. I'm not saying anything. He's not in the squad.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an injury. All right, cool.
Yeah.
What? Oh, do you think?
Okay.
Ali called him a cunt.
Let me ask you another. I didn't say that.
What about this? It's like.
Let me ask you another question.
Why do you need to make things up?
Let me ask you another question. When Harry Maguire didn't play against PSG because he had a knock.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why he didn't play against PSG?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you want him to play against PSG with a knock so you can get embarrassed? Why do you need to risk someone against West Bromwich Albion who's got a knock?
I agree with you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely agree with you.
By the way, Harry Maguire, that's someone we should be talking about. Harry Maguire has returned to form.
He's been great.
He's looking good again.
We're going to get to that.
He's more like himself. You just fucking like Sky Sports and that, do my head in. If I had my way, you'd be sacked.
Someone said...
You and Graham Souness in a tree.
What we've been sacked and we move into a tree together? Little Souness tree.
First comes love, then comes marriage.
Then comes a little Souness with long hair. Alex.
Go on, Joe.
Centre-back partnerships. Adam's mentioned Maguire there in quite astutely and calmly. He's talked about Harry Maguire. He's back in the squad. He's looked good recently. Victor Lindelof is alongside him. I said last night, I reckon that this centre-back partnership isn't as bad as people are making out. I think you look at, since Maguire came in last season, we conceded 30 less goals than the year before. Obviously, we had that disastrous game against Tottenham and some poor performances against Crystal Palace in terms of goals as well. But do you think that all this talk of we need a new centre-back, we need new centre-backs, do you think it's a bit overblown considering how much better our defence has been compared to before Maguire came in?
We do need a new centre-back, but Maguire has been better, and I think that it's not as bad as everyone's going on about it. I don't think it's as bad in general, the team, the back four especially. I mean, like you mentioned last year, conceding so many less goals, I think they were very, very good. But I do think that we still could improve on that. I still think that someone with a bit of pace back there, someone that's got the athletic ability, there's a reason why I've been linked up with Mckola. There's a reason why people are pushing. Like Twanzebe as well showed that in the PSG game. When he's on form, I think he could potentially fit that role. I do think that we need maybe another centre-half to go alongside Harry Maguire that can make up for his lack of pace a little bit. But I don't think it's been that bad. And I think that ever since that Newcastle game, which was the game that everyone went, oh, should Harry Maguire play or not? I think he's been really, really good for Manchester United and for England as well, apart from that little wobble he had at the last international break. But apart from that, he's been very, very good.
Yeah, and I think he obviously went a bit... He seemed like he wasn't quite with it for the start of the season. Obviously, he had that very bizarre summer. Whether he did the things that the Greek police said he did, or what happened was the thing he said he did. Either way, it was kind of a mad summer. We've got a young man called Adam Mckola in the comments. He said, sack Joe. He also said, I don't want us to turn into the sun. No one wants that, Adam. What do you think to the centre-backs? Do we need new centre-backs, or actually, are we actually pretty good?
We possibly need a centre-back because there's a few that still question marks over Axel Twanzebe, Eric Bailly, for different reasons. Eric Bailly, well, there's no question marks over Rojo and Jones. We know where their future lies. So you still need a centre-back. Teddy Mengi, what's going to happen? Does he need to go out alone for a few years? Is he going to be able to step up quick?
Yep.
So there's question marks over a few. So you think we need to strengthen in centre-half position over the next couple of windows. But Harry Maguire stepped up recently. Still got a go up again, but he's starting to get his feet again. Victor Lindelof, I believe, even before the break and all that, he was starting to look better. So we're starting to see we've got centre halves that are maybe not coming into their best form, because I still think there's better to come from them, but are starting to find their feet again, starting to settle. When you've got performances of people like Fred in front of them.
That's what I was going to move on to as well.
Who there's just been a few clips there. Obviously, if people are watching BT at home, they would have seen the same clips themselves. But you're seeing Fred in there, winning possession back, being a nuisance, fighting in there, scrapping in there. And that's exactly what we need from him. Now, it'd be interesting to see how it lines up today. I'm hoping Matic is sitting and Fred is a little bit more advanced, but a little bit behind Bruno. But he's been very good in that position. So I think Fred's been a key point. You've also got to look at, Ollie has looked to shore it up a little bit in playing McTominay and Fred. Now, we kind of want to go away from that because we don't want to constantly be playing two sitting in front of your defence. But again, maybe that was something that he thought, let's just settle things down a little bit, get back at it. And once we start getting the results and the confidence back in the defence, maybe you take one of them away from in front of them. But it's been good to see Lindelof and Maguire stepping up with performances.
It's weird today, isn't it, that we've seen, like you said, some of the reason why I think Lindelof and Maguire have looked better is because they've had Fred and McTominay in front of him. And then now McTominay's on the bench. Obviously, he played some big games for Scotland over the international break.
Yep.
But Matic is in the squad there. Is that almost more defensive? Or do you think, like Adam said, it might allow Fred to wander forward a bit more and it won't be too defensive?
I think there's a little bit of that. I think the other thing that Ollie's looking at is the amount of fixtures that all these guys have played. You know, you look at that starting 11 now today. You've got Maguire only played. He played 2 games in the break. Lindelof played a few games, but then you've got Matic in front of them that haven't played a game of football in 2 weeks. So they've had a full rest, full break, which means that they should be a little bit sharper. They should be a little bit better. Whereas you've got McTominay, who's played a lot of games. Pogba as well played. What did he play? 120 minutes. Played at least 2 or 3 games. I think that what Ollie's doing now is that, look, we're playing West Brom. We've got a team we've put out there that should beat them, and we've got lads that haven't played any football, which is a good situation to be in. They're not going to be as leggy as we would do if we'd have had to play exactly the same team, because that was what was at fault for us towards the end of last season, was we were playing the same team all the way through, and it just looked slow at the end of it. Whereas now, we're freshening things up every week.
Freshening things up. Like the video if you want Manchester United to win today. Hit the like button on the video.
Is this CBeebies? Like the video
First
if you
of all,
want.
when have CBeebies ever done a YouTube live stream?
It sounds like a CBeebies type of instruction.
All right, you
like
do one.
The video,
you do one. You do like the video.
Like the video if
Go on.
you hate Joe.
Okay. And like the video if you like
Love
Joe.
Joe. Yeah.
Sort of cover both bases there.
Like the video if you hate me.
Wait, I saw you like the video then. Did you like it because you hate me or did you like it because you love me?
I like it because I hate me.
Abhijit Kulkarni, thank you very much for joining the Academy membership. If any of you want to become members, hit that join button. We've got loads of stuff coming up for members very soon. Not yet. We can't tell them soon. We've got huge things coming for members. We've got more members only videos.
Need pictures of Joe's love length fever.
No, it's going to be even huger than that if you can imagine such a thing. But yeah, we've got a lot coming up for members, so hit that members button if you want to get in there early. But yeah, there's plenty coming up for members, so thank you very much.
Ronaldo's just arrived with a big smile on his face and a bag from Tesco's. Pass me that bag, I want to see what you've got.
What's to put that?
He's handing out...
Come on, we need to do a check, stop check.
He's handing out bottles of Vimto Remix out here.
Let me see, what's that?
What is this, some sort of school disco? Vimto Remix?
Let's not...
What are you buying, man?
Let's have a look.
What we got?
Is this a £5 munch? Shout out Lordy on Grime Report TV.
Like Rennie said, he cooked that.
So he's got a...
Show the camera. Show the camera. I'd rate, what is that, Southern Fried Chicken salad?
So this is the rate the meal deal. We've got Southern Fried Chicken.
This is the Ronaldo meal deal.
The idea of having a battered mayo in a salad, not a battered chicken in a salad, is bizarre to me.
Oh no! What the fuck is
White
this?
chocolate Twix, they're nice.
Horrid.
They're nice, but wouldn't be my
flatmate bought a newsagent box of 32 packs of them.
And he's gone apple juice.
Apple juice might be better than orange juice.
Apple juice like a 4-year-old at a art gallery.
Is that the meal deal?
That's proper.
That is a meal deal. Yeah. Is it a meal deal without crisp?
That apple juice is
proper. You need some
stodge in there. Optional extra that you buy.
You need the stodge, and
I
also
think this is a shit meal deal.
You've also gone for the cheapest drink in that. You know, you get a smoothie there for like £2.80 in that meal deal. You could have got a Red Bull or something like that. You could have gone for
apple juice is proper National Trust fodder. That you can't be getting that National Trust drink.
It's odd. Knickknacks.
National Trust, isn't that like who looks after the Lake District?
Yeah, like do you know when you see like a little kid running around a park somewhere, and they're like, "Mummy, can I have a bottle of apple juice?" He's done that. That's what that is.
I've never lived that moment. No.
You've never been to a park?
Not and watched kids run up to their mom saying, "Can I have?"
You've never been a kid in a park?
You watch kids in parks.
I didn't say I didn't. I asked you if you'd
You
been.
didn't say you didn't. You didn't say you didn't.
No, that's what I just said.
Oh, he said those words, didn't he? It's on camera as well. If anyone wants to click that off and send that to...
Someone says, how can anyone dislike Twixers?
White chocolate Who does that?
Yeah,
no,
mad.
There's no need
Too
for
sweet.
That.
Way too
Mental.
sweet.
Like,
Alex Bailey, welcome to the Academy, mate. Thank you very much for joining.
Twixes are good, though.
Yeah, the like milk chocolate Twix is good. Do they do a dark chocolate Twix?
Normal Twix is just good, isn't it?
Yeah,
how would you do that?
I think that'd be good because the
you know what's
sweetness of the caramel.
disrespected a lot? That shouldn't be Bounties.
I love Bounty. The red Bounty.
Like, they get I feel like people on Twitter just say, "Oh yeah, Bounties are shit," just because they want to.
Yeah,
it's
because
the worst one in the celebration box.
No, it's
still
not.
nice.
No, it's
not.
No,
it's not.
Just the
Yes,
plain.
it is.
No, it is
the
not.
plain Galaxy
What else
is the
is in
worst.
celebration?
Plain Galaxy.
Galaxy's
Galaxy's
mint.
dead.
Yeah, Galaxy's too fat. It's oily.
Galaxy's for like moms and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
not for the mans.
Galaxy's for mums.
Wrong.
Innit?
Yeah.
Tell it, madam. Someone said they hate Bounties. For anyone who doesn't live in England, a Bounty is like desiccated coconut in some sort of, what would you say?
Chocolate.
In some sort of
In
chocolate.
sort of
No,
what?
because
there was no need for an in-sauce over there, was there?
Well, there was because you didn't let me finish.
And
That
you didn't say what
coconut
he said.
isn't just pure block of coconut. It's in like some sort of fondant suspension.
No, it isn't. It's just
Inside,
cold
inside
block
chocolate.
Of coconut.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
That's where
it
you're
is.
wrong. It's in a sweet sugar suspension. If anyone thinks a Bounty is just a great
don't
rock of
get this
coconut covered in
anywhere
chocolate, amateurs.
Who drinks Tiger beers, by the way?
This
Like,
is
what
this was Casey, by the way.
I
TK,
think that I went when I went to India. I had a Kingfisher with my KFC once because they did beers with KFC, and I could shit through the eye of a needle.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was. And I was on a plane. And, it was dreadful
jokes on
times.
Tiger beer.
But Tiger, like, who buys
I
this?
like
stuff?
how it just says world acclaimed Asian lager as well. Like Asia's about
it's
4,500 miles across.
place.
Where was it made? You
Singapore.
can't just say Asian.
Singapore.
Oh, does it? TK Poppy with a
Tiger.
super chat. Thank you for the super chat, mate. We will read any out that people send in as well. International games finally over. Glad to have the boys back. Let's have a great game. And we've got kickoff in about 12 minutes.
E3 LON Tiger.
Don't know the song, but
Sorry.
wicked.
Why do that?
Yeah, no cans, but we've got bottles instead.
Got bottles.
Yeah.
Joe drank all the
It's an
cans.
award-winning full-bodied
Joe
beer.
drank all the cans last night when he was in it on his own, didn't you?
Was he in here on his own doing
Whatever.
Late Night Live again?
You
Whatever.
did, though, didn't you?
The last ever Late Night Live is coming up next Friday,
Last
by the way.
ever?
Yeah.
It's the best show on the channel.
I know, mate. Unfortunately, it's got to go, though. Frankie or Francie, I never know what it
Worse
is.
for views, but it's the best show on the channel.
Yeah, see? Unlucky,
See, if
innit?
you like appreciated this dickhead more,
Yeah.
wouldn't have to cancel his show.
Well,
Now he's got the
that's
chop,
not- that's not
like
true.
my
Now,
foreskin.
Steve,
No, that's true.
And-
Have you?
Yeah.
Let's not get into that. That's not what's happening with Late Night Live. Frankie Brady said, #save Late Night Live. Yeah, well. I didn't know that. No, I did really.
Well, now you know.
I did really. Someone said, I want a big win, not just a win. Is he asking for too much there?
not really, no.
Oh, okay, cool. Someone said, I love Joe. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Someone said, I hate Joe. As in, I
got this.
hate Joe. Adam hates Joe.
Oh, there was quite a few of them when we were arguing.
It's
before.
like when the other day when they were commenting on the videos of me and Steve saying, oh, the tension. There's literally no tension in the room whatsoever.
Sexual.
It was there's always sexual tension in this room. But there was no, like, I want to punch you in your throat tension.
Nah.
He said that today, though, because I ruined it. Did you see my tweet?
It was so
You
good,
saw
though.
my
I
tweet,
did.
yeah.
I
No
did.
touching, thank you.
We'll
Thank
do
you.
like an air one.
It's illegal. Cheers. What was the tweet then, if you're going to talk about it?
So he tweeted a long tweet about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he
It was a
does
nice tweet.
quite often. He tweeted this. 20 legend isn't a passing phase. This man wasn't a bit part player. He was a legend before he finished playing. Don't you dare try rewrite our history because you don't rate him as a manager. So he's obviously read a few tweets that have been criticising Ole. and his legacy, which I do find weird. Like, if you dislike him as a manager, that's cool, but don't try to rewrite history. But I was focusing on the first sentence, Joe. Did that sentence go over your head? Did you hear it?
It didn't go over my head, but I would love to hear it again.
20 legend isn't a passing phase.
Hey, no passing phase.
Means no worries for the rest. And he didn't like it.
Yeah,
Did
so
he
when
not?
he
didn't
did
like
that,
it.
he then said, "I will punch you in the throat." To which you replied,
Which, to be fair, is about 3 foot tall. He's going to have to jump and swing to do that. But, well.
Ross Murphy in the super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. Ross, he says the best late night live intros: 3, start the fire; 2, dressing up as Jesus walking down the street; 1, count, dance. R.I.P. Late Night Live.
Paddy,
I'm going to be whipping out a montage of Late Night Live intros for next week.
Is the montage a nickname for your wiener? Paddy says, is it true that Joe and Boy George had a fling? Where's this come from?
Legally, I'm not allowed to talk about that this time. I don't know where that's come from. I think it's just a joke from Paddy there.
Okay.
Just a joke. Legally, just a joke. Amped to see Tellers tonight in the comments. Let's see what the kid can do. You're not the biggest criticiser of Luke Shaw, are you, compared to Stephen Howson, who really doesn't like him at all.
I watch football and judge what I see.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking forward to seeing Tellers? Do you think
It's like
you can offer
I
more
judge
than
what I
Luke
see
Shaw?
on everything. It's like people like to think like then. People in the comments, oh, why are you defending Pogba? If you actually listen to what I was saying, I never once said Pogba's played well, should be in the starting 11. Never once said any of those things, but people think I said that because I am not saying what they want to hear. Do you get it?
Would you describe yourself as one of those people who, I just say what everybody's thinking, lads?
No, I don't say what everyone's thinking.
No.
I don't
What
say
you
what
don't
everyone's
say.
thinking. I say what people can't think for themselves because this world is fucked. What was the question? Luke Shaw. I actually think Luke Shaw's improved over the last couple of months. He always seems to improve when it looks like his spot's going to get taken. I still think there's more for him to do. I think he's out of position a lot. Like, if you think of the worst games we've had this season, Luke Shaw has probably been one of our worst players in those games. Yeah. Like Spurs, was he ever in position? Like Maguire got all the headlines for that, and rightly so. Yeah. But Luke Shaw was equally as bad.
It was very bad.
And there's a lot of games where...
Even the Istanbul game.
Yeah, like, they're all over the place.
It was all over the place.
So, I don't think... Like, people... Like, when he got Player of the Year that year for being fit, it was like, huh? Right, I think sometimes...
You've got through the season.
I watched a video of Luke Shaw in his first season when he got here. Bloody hell, it was so good. So quick as well. Like,
it's a shame
he's nowhere near the player we signed.
Ole mentioned this week about Luke Shaw. He said something to the effect of, he's trusting himself more going forward. He's trying to get more balls in the box, and he's looking a little bit better. Do you think it's weird that it seems as though, based on those comments, that Ole's saying we want you to do more offensively, but Luke Shaw seemingly sort of like, I'll see what I can do, or that he doesn't trust himself? What do you think it is that Ole has to come out and say that?
I think there could be a confidence thing. There's a lot of, under Mourinho, the comments that Mourinho came out and said that, Luke Shaw played well because I stood there and told him where to go every single... I completely did that, which you can, that was a problem. There is an issue there, but I think that his confidence is shot. And also, the way he had his leg break, I'm sure your confidence has gone a little bit in that sense. And yes, we can't be bringing, it's been a long time since that leg break, but there's probably still a few confidence issues with Luke Shaw. And maybe there is just a bit of, you are a good player. There's a reason that Manchester United signed you for 30 million or whatever it was at that time. You were one of the best left backs in the league. You were one of the most promising left backs coming up. Go out and do that. And then you've seen Tellers come in and he has stepped up a little bit. I still don't think he was unbelievable in those games. I don't think he was fantastic going forward. It's not like you've got an unbelievable...
He was never as good going forward as Wan-Bissaka is defensively in any of those games. It wasn't like, bloody hell, Luke Shaw's incredible. He put a couple of good crosses in.
Which is what you expect from your left player. What you're meant to do. That's the other thing, is that we've had very average fullback for a long time at United. I think everyone's kind of gone, oh, well, if he puts like one good cross in a game, we've done well, and that's not where...
Do you remember that Chris Rock where he says, stop praising people for shit they're supposed to do?
Yeah, there is a little bit.
I ain't never been to jail. He's like, you ain't supposed to go to jail. It's like Luke Shaw's supposed to whip balls into the box.
Yeah.
He's supposed to have an assist.
After the Everton game, I was going, he's had 2 assists in the last 2 games. Yeah, but he's had 2 assists in the last 40 as well. Like when you put it in that, he's had a couple of good games, but it's still a...
I reckon if I played for United for 50 games, I'd have more than 2 assists.
Incredible statement.
Especially when you got...
I'd have more than 10 red cards as well. But.
Yeah, and less than 10 minutes per
Nah,
appearance.
bro. Luke Shaw can play for United, so can I.
Really?
Anfield, like, all these men that are there, really, was wasting up spaces.
You take their spot, would you, in a heartbeat?
Yeah,
Give you 6 months.
Give me 6 weeks.
26-year-old Adam Mckola. We'll take it back.
I am 26.
We'll take it back 10 years. So 26-year-old Adam Mckola, 10 years ago now. We give you 6 months to get fit, to train with the first team before. So we start you in January, and they say to you, you're going to start
Pre-season.
the first game of next year. No, you get longer than that. I'm giving you longer than that.
Sweet.
And you're playing every single game up front for Manchester United. No
Not
matter
up front,
what.
Not up front.
No, well, no, because I
don't want that responsibility.
Here's the question, though. How many goals do you think you get as the number 9 for Manchester United next season? Honestly.
At least 10. You have to.
10!
You have to.
He's saying
you could
10.
be shit and get 10 goals. You just have to be in the right pace at the right time.
Which is a talent in itself, a talent that you don't have.
10 goals. That's a lot.
10 goals, bizarre. Yomi Nelson.
Nah, they get at least one.
One.
Get at least
down
one.
it back. You're not on penalties, by the way.
Look, remember Falcao got 4.
Oh, and
he
yours
was
got his
shot to
Falcao.
bits, bro. At least I got 2. I got 1 more knee than Falcao at the moment.
At the moment. Why? Just healed. Knee and
That
a big
6
brace.
weeks of training might break it.
Yeah. Yomi Nelson with the super chat. I don't expect this to happen, but if we lose, are we closer to Ole out? I think choosing Matip and Van der Beek is a risk. I think every time you lose, you're closer to having a problem, but I don't think we need to.
I think there's.
That's not on the horizon.
Still
soon,
stick with the fact that we've now got how many starting 11 there? 5 of that starting 11 that haven't played and are going to be fresh, which I think is a lot into what Ollie's thought today. Juan Mata, one of them, had 2 weeks break, which if he gets that and if he's fresh, he's a very good player. Same with Matic and Fred, and same with Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, and
I think there's a big thing towards that.
If you're ever going to play a couple of extra players or a player like Mata who's not really got the legs but is good on the ball, I'm sorry, but West Brom at home is that game.
And when he's had 2 weeks off.
If people are criticising Juan Mata for starting this game, saying that he's not ready for this game, he's not really ready to play.
These are the games he's more made for than Istanbul
exactly. That's
away.
what I'm saying. Exactly.
Like, this is the game at home where we should have more possession. We should be able to. This is what Istanbul away, less so.
I was more surprised he played against Everton away, kind of thing, where I think we're going to have a little less of the ball. I thought that might be a game that you'd have played Dan James or something like that, or maybe you'd have gone back to the Diamond or something like that. But I think he's done all right.
There's a lot of players out of form, though, so when Mata shows a bit of form,
He's
you
class.
immediately
He's
jump in
still class.
ahead of a lot of people in their pecking order. Do you know what I mean?
Sean Michael Smith, welcome to the Academy. Thank you very much
Shawn
for joining
Michaels.
as a member.
Is he the Heartbreak Kid?
Yeah, it might be. It might be, actually. You're a big wrestling fan, aren't you, Adam?
Yeah, I love it.
I watched the other day, it's going to be Undertaker's final match soon, isn't it?
I know. I don't watch wrestling anymore.
No.
But I still watch the old stuff.
But will you watch Undertaker's final fight?
I will watch that because it's like I don't want to watch Mike Tyson and fight, but I'm going to watch it.
When is that?
It's soon. Yeah, please don't die, Iron Mike.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay to watch you die.
Yeah.
Like, just please don't do that. But Undertaker, it's like, yeah. I don't like that Undertaker has become a person out of the ring.
He's only just started doing that like the last 12 months, hasn't he?
It's surprising that he's been able to hold down that
for 30
that
years.
Secrecy, like,
he's been in
especially
character
with social
for 30
media
years.
for the last, how long have we had social media? 15 years?
Yeah.
Really? So for him to keep a low profile like that, but then obviously it is with a woman that's quite famous as well, so that doesn't help. But he's retiring, so he kind of needs to think of
post-fight.
Moolah.
Speaking of that moolah, Bruno Fernandez is someone who's been mentioned a lot on social media. And
glad you went there.
We've talked about like Ole, people mentioning about the pressure on Ole. I saw a stat the other day, and I didn't check it myself, but I'm going to believe that it's true. He's got 110 goal involvement in his last 114 appearances in all competitions. 110 in goal involvement, so assists or goals in his last 114 games, which is, if true, absolutely astonishing.
It wouldn't surprise me because for Sporting he had 2 unbelievable seasons, and then the calendar year for United has been
amazing,
mental.
Yeah.
How many has he got for us? Like 30?
It's 30 and 33 or something like that. It was that before last.
That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah. This watch-along is sponsored by Manscaped. Did you know that, Alex?
I certainly did.
What is Alex? I mean, we've heard the name Manscaped.
Yeah.
You've
By
heard
the way,
it on
we are
podcasts.
about to
You've heard
kick
it
off.
on here. What is it?
It's a company that does stuff for
You know.
Your balls.
You like it, don't you, Adam?
I love it.
You love Manscaped, don't you? Just trimming your knackers. You like to do it recreationally,
It's got
don't
that
you?
no-nick technology.
It has got that no-nick technology.
No-nick
doesn't it?
technology saves the day.
Yes.
It saves the day.
Yeah.
It saves your balls.
It
It
is.
saves the day. You don't want to lose too much blood.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's never
Not too
good.
much.
It's never good, that.
Not too much.
First time, bit of a thrill.
Yes.
After that, it gets a bit boring. You
Yeah.
don't want to do that.
No.
So that no-nick technology comes in.
But that's because they've got the Lawnmower 3.0, which is the most advanced testicular shaving device in the history of humanity. And this
Testicular
show is
shaving
sponsored
device.
by Manscaped. If you want 20% off and free shipping, make sure you use the code
Because there are man out there using their missus's old Bics in that.
Paddock,
you can't be
WAL,
doing that.
Paddock Watchalong.
Can't be doing that.
Can't be doing
For
that.
Can't be
20%
doing
off
that,
and free
boys.
shipping. Yeah, you can't be using one of them. It's got some it's like rusty on the edges and it's got
If you
like
look
leg
after
hairs
your
sticking
old
out.
boys, they'll look after you. Do you know what I
Exactly,
mean?
Yeah.
exactly. And it's not just shaving. They've got creams like a Linctus, a moisturising balm, some sort of ointment.
You have the foot spray as well. You have
Foot
all
spray?
sorts.
All
If
sorts.
you do the full body
Yeah.
smoothness, like Jay is bald there,
Yeah.
bald there.
Jay just
bald,
goes full.
bald everywhere. If you bald off everything, it also can do that as
Yeah,
well.
bald balls, and that is manscaped.com. And use the code Paddock, WAL, that's Paddock Watchalong, WAL, at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. Thank you very much, Manscaped. Right, Man United have kicked off. And Martial's chasing his way through what looks like a Norwich kit, but West Brom have just got their away kit on, haven't they? And we've got a free kick there.
They're so good, aren't they?
What
Manscaped
the,
Well
owes a
done.
bit more money.
the
for
little
that.
pop-ups. Oh,
Well done.
We filmed them.
Editor
Fantastic.
Cow.
People asking where Stephen Howson is. He's going to be here at halftime for the stats show.
Martial
So Steve will
just
be
won a
involved.
free kick
very
for
soon.
United. On the edge of the area.
Tellers over there
He
already.
had a good whack on
No.
his Achilles then. His
Achilles.
Achilles.
No tellers on the free kick. Surprised.
Yeah, because he'll be well out of position then, wouldn't he? Think about it.
They
Al.
don't, yeah, but they don't worry about that, do they?
Yeah, but Maguire's also on the 6-yard line.
And we've got one.
Martial! Oh!
You could hands on head from Martial there, almost scored a header. He wants that goal, doesn't he?
He won the free kick, won the header.
Sam
Good
Johnston.
start. Sammy Johnston keeping him out.
Good lad.
Ooh, he wasn't. If that goes in, the keeper's made a howler. But
You need
it
another
was.
nick
You needed
on
a
that,
bit
don't you?
more on it in it.
And you need someone else to maybe.
Come across the goal.
Yeah.
Good start though. 2 minutes in.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Something with Martial, his injury.
Do you reckon
record,
he uses Manscaped?
What?
Slavan.
Slavan
Martial.
Bilic?
Over it.
Oh, Martial. Yeah, definitely. It's the only thing you can use, mate. He's not been injured for a while, Martial, has he? And that has been something like a sort of a portion of his career at United, which I think has gone under the radar a bit because he's been dropped bits here and
He
there.
had that one last season, which was like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
So it's like when he is injured,
Yeah, he has a good
You know what I
chunk
mean?
out because he has been sort of consistently these little bits and bobs, hasn't he? But he's stayed fit for ages now, which I think is.
I think his his goal scoring might not have been, but his level of performance has been consistent as a 9. That's all you can ask for at the moment. We're still early in the season as well.
Yeah, I think he's going to get plenty of goals this year.
Yeah, and I think though the 3 games he missed were. I fancied him to get a goal in them
Alex
games.
Tellers has lost a little bit of his facial hair, and he just looks weird.
He's scared.
Like a different person, doesn't he?
You think he's going to be good?
Oh yeah.
I hope he is.
I'm just saying. I hope so. Sam Johnston. What a man, eh? Won the FA Youth Cup for United there. Playing with Lingard and Pogba and Raval.
What a team.
That was a quality team, that. Will
it was.
Keane.
Matic.
Thorpe was in there, was he?
Not sure.
No, Michael Keane.
Michael Keane.
Yep.
Not Will Keane.
Will Keane's a bit younger, isn't he?
Ben Thorpe.
Just make it name.
Just guessing now.
Let's just guess
He's
some.
guessing now.
Let's just guess some United
Philip
names.
Harris with the super chat. Late Night Live, the best show on the channel. Save it. Well, sorry
Fuck
to hear that.
I think we should just kill it.
Well, wait, I mean, I've already made that decision. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
very much.
Joe's decision.
gone.
No, I'm trying to play reverse psychology.
It's Joe's decision.
Oh, nice.
You just fucked it.
Tellers could pass as Captain Jack Sparrow. He has got a bit of the pirate about him, hasn't he? Do you think he sailed the 7 seas and then couldn't get into Uruguay when he got there?
That's probably how I got COVID.
What, pirating?
Sailing the 7 seas.
Not 7 seas cod liver oil tablets, though, because they're good for you there.
They're nasty then, innit?
No.
Have you ever had them? Have you ever popped one in your mouth by accident?
Not by accident. Why would you put something like that in your mouth by accident?
No.
I had one just out of intrigue.
Yeah, I took it on purpose, but it burst in my mouth by accident.
Isn't it supposed to burst in your mouth?
No, you swallow it like
I
a
thought it was
tablet.
like a whole soother.
No, cod liver oil tablet. Cod liver oil is literally the oil from a cod's liver. You don't want that. You don't want that.
You were sucking on it like a cereal.
You swallow it straight down.
No, pregnant women have them.
Yeah, sometimes it's to help with joints and that. Well, they used to do in like Victorian times in the war. They used to have like it in a bottle. So you'd have a spoonful of cod liver oil, and you'd take that, and then they'd give you a spoonful of like orange, and you'd have that afterwards. Like, thanks, it's washed it right down. Bit of orange to wash down your cod liver, which is the most disgusting thing ever. And then you have the burps that just taste like fish all day. Cod liver oil tablets.
What a lovely thought.
They're very good for you.
Yeah.
They are very good for you, actually.
Oh,
great touch, Marcus.
Well, you said it before he had the touch.
Was it a good touch?
No.
Whatever.
He missed it.
Kept the ball, didn't he? Can't have been that bad. Oh, great cross, Alex.
People at home wouldn't have seen that then. They would have thought.
I got it right.
Yeah.
The ball was
but
there.
The ball came down
he's got great
before
touch.
it reached Marcus. He went, good ball, Marcus.
It was, though. Turned out all right in the end, didn't it? West Brom are almost worryingly bad, aren't they?
Don't say things
Well, that's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. I'm worried.
They scored 3 goals against Chelsea.
That's true. Is it?
Thiago did basically score one for them.
Yeah.
That's soft, that, isn't it? Because he's kind of come across. It's clever, I suppose, but who's that? Livermore? Jake Livermore?
Nah.
No, he's not there anymore, is he? Is he
Doesn't
there?
he play
Is that
for
him?
these lot?
Yeah. Is he starting?
Talking about cod liver.
You read out the team news earlier. You should know whether he's starting or not, Adam.
I don't pay attention to what I read out.
To what I say. And neither should anyone else. Philip Harris, welcome to the first team. Thank you very much for joining as a member. Darren Wilson with a super chat said, "Good day, lads, your mates in Oz. You taking the overs or unders on Tellers to get 10 assists in the league this season?"
That's a lot.
In the league?
That's a lot, isn't it?
I'll do it in the season, not in the league.
I'd love it. That's an assist. I think
under that.
I think the safe bet is the under there, isn't it? But I reckon you probably get about
In
what
all
you get,
comps,
15 to 1 on
yeah.
that.
Yeah. He's already got one, yeah? All comps.
Has he? I don't think
Got
he
one
has.
against PSG, didn't he?
No.
Oh, did we just imagine it?
He just played well. Just booting balls up now. Look at him. I'm good at kicking it, me. There are a lot of players like that where you say
That's
about De Bruyne a little bit, Adam, but certain players where
fan merchant.
the reason they're actually so good is because they just do loads of that thing. So like Trent just puts loads of crosses in, and now he's good at crossing. And one of the reasons that he's so good is
Trent
because he's
actually-
willing to put so many crosses in.
I hate when they compare these lot to Beckham.
He's nowhere near.
Because Beckham used to go, oh, you want it on that blade of grass? All right,
Yeah.
here you go. And Kevin De Bruyne's going, oh, I know someone will be in there somewhere. Let me dick it to the back. And usually it'll hit someone's shins.
The amount of goals United players just scored where they just did this.
Yeah,
Didn't move.
The ball
didn't
just
have-
landed on the red.
Go on, Harry, have a shot.
Loves a shot.
Harry was playing basically midfield for England the other day, wasn't he?
He's also had more shots than Arsenal
Hot
this
dinners.
season.
More
Harry-
shots than Arsenal?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Who?
Harry Maguire.
There's a stat.
More shots than Arsenal.
Harry Maguire has had more shots than Arsenal this season.
And we still lost against some chumps.
So bad.
They only had like 2 shots on target in that game.
I
didn't
can't
they? Or was
believe
it one?
we dropped points against fucking Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah, that was pretty crap, wasn't
Oh, that's it. Cameron, what have a bet with you? 1st of January will be ahead of Chelsea.
it? You're not a fan of that. You're worried that Jose's going to win the league with Tottenham, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, he's winning the league.
He's
After
not going to come ahead of Liverpool.
After all my
though.
tweets about Henderson goes and does it.
I
And
think-
after everything I've said about Jose, it's just going to happen.
He said he was finished and he was washed up. and all
He
that,
is
didn't
finished.
But
Poch's team, isn't it?
you still think that Jose might win the league even though he's finished?
Well, it's one of them. If it was a normal season where, I say normal, if it was last season where Liverpool and Man City were going to get 80, 90 points, I don't think anyone else has a chance.
But they could be the
But
best
in
of a
terms
shit
of
team. Shit
This
season.
year, I think it's going to be like the season Leicester won it. I think Spurs have a chance. Leicester have a chance. I don't think we really do. I think Chelsea.
I don't think anyone's out of it yet. That's the thing is that it only
we
takes...
are. We're not consistent enough.
No, but
Even if you can drop points this year and still win it, but we need to be more consistent. Now we could see that consistency come. I mean, last year we went from January till
We need to-
July without losing really. So I suppose you could do it, but you know.
What was that, Cam? I seen you type that and then you shit yourself and put it away. Go on. What was that? Ah, there you go. 20 quid. January 1st.
These are baby bets, man.
Yeah, I love
Come
that.
on.
What, that Chelsea will be ahead of Man United?
Yes,
Come
I
on,
love
put
that.
your house on it or something. Put some proper jeopardy in it that you'll be homeless if
What's
you
the
lose.
biggest bet you've ever bet?
Oh no, not.
You ever bet your life?
Nah, not my life. Not yet. It's not worth nothing. That.
Have you ever bet a full wheel of cheese?
I went to bet my life, and they said, "No, it's like computer exchange." It was like, "You ought to get a pound on that, mate."
Yeah. You better swapping that chair. We could bet your life, or you could just bet that sofa there, that old futon. It's worth more.
Do you remember them old poofs? Them little things.
The little soft footstool.
I ain't seen one of them in years.
No, people don't really have
I
them
used
anymore,
to have
do
one
they?
of them.
All gone the way of the coffee table these days, mate.
Yeah.
Sickening. The floor space in living rooms just ain't what it used to be. People saying, how slow can this game get? West Brom don't look that bad, and that's a foul.
I just think both are a bit poor at the minute.
I'm slightly concerned. I do think that of all the seasons, though, like you said, I think there's a chance that someone like United could make a run. Now, I think obviously early season form is suggesting that Tottenham look good, but they've still got their yearly injury to Harry Kane, their yearly injury to Toby Alderweireld to come up, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle those injuries.
I said the big thing for Tottenham is I think they need to, it's figuring out how they get out of the Europa League, because you can't have a good run in the Europa League and win the league. No one's ever done it. No one's got past semi-finals Europa League and been first or second in the Premier League.
No.
So it's what Jose does with that, when he sacks that off, because I think he needs to do that in some way. I thought he'd done it in the group stage and just kind of gone, here's all the kids. But I think you can't play Europa League and compete.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, isn't it? Like you said, you can't really do both, and especially when you're a team that only qualified for. Well, they finished 8th last season, or what was it, 6th, or they got that final spot on the last day. West Brom coming forward here, well done, Victor. You can't really go from finishing 7th one season to winning the Europa League and winning the league. That I can say pretty safely that that's impossible.
No, I don't think they've got the squad for it. I still think they've got a few. I'm not saying they've just got an 11. They're not like Leicester were, where they were just if they get any injuries, but they can't afford to have Harry Kane not in that squad. They can't afford to lose. I think Toby Alderweireld went off injured today. They can't lose him for 3 months.
Harry Kane, I think last year what was fucked was they had Kane and Son injured. I think there's been plenty of times when Spurs, maybe before Jose arrived, where they looked better without Kane.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that little period they had where they looked?
I remember the discussion.
Like a better team without Kane. And I think if you put Bale on, if you get Bale fit now.
Go on, Fred.
Past whoever was in the middle there should have got on that.
Yeah.
Rashford should have gotten that ball into the box. If you've got a fit Bale, and you're then able to put Son through the middle, Bale on left, and Moura on the right, you've still got a very good front three.
Yeah. People saying in the comments, as you mentioned there, Alex, that Alderweireld did get injured today. It looks like he's done a groin there. Can we get 1,000 likes on the video? If you haven't liked the video already,
by half time,
please like the video. Let's go up to 1,000 likes on the video. I just think with Tottenham, I think it's a good start to a league season that people are then adding the fear of Jose winning the league with someone other than Man United. They're adding that on and thinking, I reckon there's a chance here.
No, I think there's a manager.
Why would Tottenham finish ahead of Liverpool, for instance?
Wow,
because Liverpool
have fucking
11 players
most
injured.
Of the squad injured.
Yeah, but only how many of their top players are injured?
And
Two.
how long
Salah.
can you be so relentless for?
Salah's out.
Not really.
Thiago's out.
Salah's got COVID.
Wijnaldum's out. Van Dijk's out.
I'm not accepting Thiago because he wasn't even there last season when they got 100 points.
Van Dijk and Gomez are out.
Van Dijk and Gomez are proper out. They're out. I'll give you that.
Wijnaldum's not injured yet. There was a list of these. They've got 11.
Yeah, I know they've
and
got a
there's
lot of
7
players
players that are.
But they've still got Firmino, Mane, Salah will be back soon. They've still got both of the fullbacks. They've still got the goalie. Van Dijk's the one. But is losing Van Dijk going to make them drop 20 points? Do you think?
Yes. Is that important to them?
Do you think so?
Especially because you've now not got Gomez in. And I don't think Gomez is as good as everyone says he is, but he's Trent's injured.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's definitely there. They've not the big drop off of Van Dijk, Gomez, and then their 3rd and 4th choice in the row. I think
Fabinho's out as well, isn't he?
Fabinho's out as well. They've not got. They're like City where they're going to play midfielders there all season now.
Yeah, they've got a lot of injuries, haven't they? I don't know. I just think it's early in the season.
And it's Van Dijk and Gomez are cruciate ligament style 6-7 months out. It's not like they're going to come back in January.
No, I know. I know they're done.
And I think that Van Dijk makes Trent looks better as well. I think there's a big deal with that. I think Van Dijk covers in for Trent a lot of the time defensively.
Chelsea are looking good. I know Cam's behind the camera is loving that.
But Chelsea are the only team in sort of the Premier League era that go from being sixth one season and then 2 years later winning the league.
You watched the game today?
And they've done it 3 times.
I don't think they're looking that good.
Does that worry you?
Newcastle take the chances. That game's.
I'm not saying that this is against Newcastle today. Chelsea were brilliant. I'm saying Chelsea are the only team.
No team managed by Frank Lampard wins the league.
I'm saying Chelsea are the only team.
You couldn't even win the championship, bro. Which is the greatest league in the world. But come on,
Chelsea aren't that good.
Chelsea have done it 3 times.
Spurs more likely to win the league than Chelsea.
Why? Just because of Lampard
Jose
and
Mourinho.
Jose? You think that's it?
Jose Mourinho, a
And
very
the
good back
team-
four. A guy who,
Spurs' team's better than Chelsea's.
yeah, easily.
I think.
I know.
But Chelsea won the league, 4 years ago?
Yeah. It's a different Chelsea team and it's a different Spurs team.
Yeah. Obviously, of course it's different teams. I just think they've got a bit more pedigree in there, haven't they?
Go on, that's a great ball.
Finish.
Marshall!
Oh, he's got
what
a
a
finish.
save.
That's a save.
Oh, no, we're not having one of them, are we?
I don't know if that's a great save or he's got to finish that.
Bruno with the ball into Marshall there. In the box. What was he, 8 yards out?
I've just had a Ben Foster against us moment, or Lee Grant again, when he played for Stoke, doing them kind of saves where...
He went down early there, didn't he? He read the shot really well there.
There's only one place you could put it.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Great save, that.
Yeah, it was a really good save.
It's mad
he
how
read
many...
the game so well.
It's mad how many keepers went through United that are still bouncing about, that are still decent.
He's a good player.
Rashford's taken 2 whacks as well.
I know.
And he flights. I'm not too sure, but Steve was saying he's injured or something apparently.
Good football.
Not sure.
He should score.
He don't really find the corner, does he?
No.
It's like obviously he's not scored for a while, so he's probably got it in his head
torn
like,
between
just play it safe, play it
He
safe.
hits it very clean as
Yeah.
well. Sometimes you catch it too clean. But maybe you go a little bit higher in it.
Yeah.
But we're all being capped in hindsight. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, but are you not worried Sam Johnson having one of them games?
Not yet. It's his first save.
Yeah. Still.
16 minutes
There's
in.
always that worry.
You do worry about any ex-player. You think, they're gonna have a
Tommy,
great game,
like you said, Tom Eaton's done it.
Yeah.
Who was the other keeper that did it?
I don't even have to think.
Ben Foster's done it.
Just every goal he plays well against United. Although I bet most teams fans say that every goal he plays well against them, don't they?
No, but it was that Stoke. Was it the Stoke game when Zlatan was there? When he had
Was that when
14
Choupo-Moting
saves?
scored 2 goals against us?
No, great ball.
Was that Tellez?
Yeah,
That was a good ball.
nice.
Okay, now chipping it out to the left back. Looking good. 200 quid on Chelsea at 16-1. Safe bet. Cash out whenever we want. Tim Howard's another one. Yeah, people saying Tim Howard's had some great games against United.
I've got some Tim Howard signed and worn gloves at home. When I was 14, I entered like a competition on the Man United website, and I won them. I remember like this just brown envelope just turned up at my house. I was like,
Are they big?
yeah, I'll show you them. They're at home. I'll bring them in if you want.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But yeah,
I love goalie gloves.
Yeah, they're like got his name on them. They're battered to bits.
Oh,
he's
really?
worn them, and he signed both of them.
Because in my head, I know a lot of footballers do that where they never have like a scuff on their boots, and if they do, they just get a new pair.
I think goalkeepers, because I was watching. I've been watching Ben Foster's vlogs a lot as well. And there's a bit in his video where he says, I keep my gloves for at least, I wear them in. So I think goalkeepers kind of wear them in, don't they?
Yeah, they don't want fresh out the packet gloves for a game. They want ones.
I always think though,
full of
I wonder
spit.
how many times Tim Howard spat in these.
Honestly, probably hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds of times.
It's the best thing though, isn't it? When you spit on a pair of gloves and you're like, oh fucking, I've got some extra grip here.
Do you remember when he used to be lining up free kicks and he used to just be there swearing at them?
He's done really well, in terms of his.
He got better and better as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
When he came, his Tourette's was really bad.
It's fine, don't worry about
West
it.
Brom looking dangerous there.
Offside? Or
Gone out for a goal kick.
Tony was brought in for squad depth. People,
Where's he going?
people suggesting we should have Van der Beek on. I think so
Don't
far,
just
not
wanna
much
play
has
how
gone
long?
wrong, has it?
18 minutes.
18 mins.
Not much has gone right either.
We just need to get a goal, don't we?
Yeah.
The longer this game goes on and the form that we've had at home. Who's that? Someone's arm up the ref shirt there.
It's
What's
his
he got on
VAR thing or whatever it is. Or
Pacemaker.
Mike set.
Yeah, we see the home record on the screen there. The longer this game goes on without us scoring, the more you think the nerves are going to play a part. Yeah. The thing is,
I don't know
sort of spat
where
everywhere
else you kind of hit.
He could have got a bit further in the corner.
It's
Quite, yeah, or maybe whipped it across. But again, like I said, it's all in hindsight, isn't it?
Like if he goes down the middle and the keeper saves it, we say, why hasn't he gone corners?
No. Yeah. I think as well, it's one of them where if he misses it, you say you just got to get it on target and it's in.
Yeah.
He did get it on target and he just happened to force a really good save from the goalie, so you can't be too annoyed. But you just think from that distance, you just want to see it going in the net, don't you?
I think you've just seen a glimpse of the.
Who was that? Matic?
No! Oh,
great
good
save.
save.
Pereira's megged up Matic, slipped in a great pass, and it was who was it up top? That's just hit one wide.
Look at that. He's
good
done Matic
save. Taxi
there.
for Matic still.
Is this a good save?
Yes.
Oh, I think it's a brilliant
Matic
save.
turning like an 18-wheeler there, bro.
That was rough, wasn't it? That was rough.
Do you remember them
That's
games
the
in the arcades? The 18-wheeler ones.
All deflection as well. It comes off.
Shittest games ever.
Yeah, rubbish.
You'll end up just crashing your lorry and then crying to your mum that the game's
Just
shit.
50 feet, please. I shouldn't have put it in that one. Let me try the race car one.
Let me play the horse one.
Yeah, exactly. The motorbike one, you can lean side to
Yes,
side.
Cam, we've seen your stats about Chelsea. They've got a few clean sheets now. Delete it. Thank you.
Ivanovic plays for them.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Branislav?
Branislav Ivanovic plays for
Fucking
West
hell.
Brom. He's only 46.
If we don't score
Look at him.
today.
Look at
Jesus.
him. He's so old. He's a good player.
Who do you think's quicker, Matic or Ivanovic? I reckon Ivanovic
Matic.
is
Great
quicker.
race.
No,
I
Matic,
reckon
surely.
Ivanovic is quicker.
Matic is
He
only...
used to be a flying fullback.
Isn't Matic only like 31?
Type in on Google top speeds of Branislav
Matic.
Ivanovic.
Top speed. Like he's a
Oh,
fucking
Marcus,
Pagani
class.
Zonda or something.
Oh, yes.
Go on.
Yes.
Go on, Fred, mopping up. Mata.
Oh, Mata.
Who's that?
Mata can't run.
No, Mata can't.
Nah!
That's not a foul.
Flag.
He stepped across him there. Stepped
that?
across him.
Is that a foul?
There's not. There's
Yeah, that's a foul.
a bit
All
of
day
criticism
long.
for Martial in the chat. If we had a striker, we'd be 2 up by now.
Have a day
We do
off.
have a striker.
It's rough, that, innit? That's harsh, that. No need for it.
But it's the same kind of people that were getting onto Andy Cole. We used to get on it. People used to get onto him, and now it's like, oh, he's so great.
I think, as much as I love Martial, in terms of goal scorers, you can't really compare the two, can you, surely?
No.
Andy Cole's got
Listen to what I'm saying.
180.
Listen to
You never listen to what I'm saying.
What were you saying?
I never once said, let's compare Martial and Andy Cole. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's the same people at the time that used to say stuff about Andy Cole. He needs 5-6 chances to score a goal. This, that, and the other is this, that. But now everyone's on about, oh, Andy Cole's so underrated when he was playing.
Yes,
It's because you never put the respect on his name at the time.
Don't say use lot to me.
It's you, Joe.
I was 6 years old when Andy Cole was scoring goals for Man United. I loved him.
We should have fucking did more, Joe.
And you did compare Andy Cole to Anthony Martial. You did.
I
You
did.
did. By definition, you just did. Interesting.
What is the definition of compare, Joe?
I would say you saying that one person who says one thing about one player when they're missing chances, who then and then you say,
No,
I bet you would have said the same about Andy Cole, who used to miss chances. You're then therefore comparing these two players by saying Martial misses chances, Andy Cole misses chances.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say either of them missed chances.
You said that. You said they
Well,
said.
I think Martial is probably our most clinical striker. He's more clinical than Cavani. Cavani's just better in terms of
Gets
getting
more
into the
chances.
positions to get the chances. Like that chance remember when Cavani came on against Arsenal? And
Yeah.
his first run was across the 6-yard box
Yeah.
to the front post. Martial doesn't make that run.
Yeah.
Cavani does. That's why he gets the chance.
That's someone who's been doing that for 15 years longer, isn't it? Yeah.
You see these spells from strikers. I think Rashford had one last year as well where he just couldn't score, and then you get one, and it's
And that's
you're
it.
all right, isn't it? Good tackle that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Martial particularly. He's got
get a
even when he
foul
was
there.
when he was playing on the left wing for 3 years.
And the good thing
he got
is now,
goals.
if he doesn't score today, for example, Cavani starts next game. The challenge is there. Last season he didn't have a challenge.
No, there was no.
So if he didn't score, you start next game. You don't score, you start next game. If you don't score today, you don't start the next game. Cavani starts, and then you've got to fight your way back into the team. And I think that level of competition can only help improve not only the strikers, but even let's say Bruno had a shit period. You bring Donny in. That level of competition should improve the players as well that are around him.
Yeah, it's nice to actually have people where you think, and not just from a. It's not like a punishment thing. It's like, well,
No,
Cavani might get you some goals.
It's football.
Yeah, it's having good players
It's
to
literally
do the
football.
job.
You're not
Yeah.
going to play at your top level throughout your whole career.
No.
So there's going to be times when you need to get dropped or
Unless you're
rested or
Cristiano
rotated
Ronaldo.
or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's like there's nothing wrong with
No.
getting a drop in.
Yeah,
sometimes.
there's literally Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi who have played every game.
I mean,
and
if we
scored
even look
loads
at the
of
great
goals.
players at our time at United,
Rooney.
I know it was towards the end. Rude got benched for Saha, bro. I mean, it happens to the best. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Sometimes you're gonna get benched.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're gonna have bad form.
But
The problem was last season we never had the Cavani on the bench.
We had
Igalo, but you
For what? From January.
Yeah.
When Martial was injured,
We had no one.
we had no one. Let's say Martial was out of form, injured, whatever. Now we got
Or
Cavani.
suspended.
Mm.
As the case
I
may
think
be with
that's what's
Martial these days.
It's put the pressure on the other players, like Dan James as well. He got
Luke
thrown
Shaw.
in. He got thrown in and had to play a lot of games. Go on. Penalty.
No chance. It's like he decided 2 steps later that he was going to go down then.
I didn't see that really. It did look like a penalty to me.
Did it? I'd like to see it again. But
for the ref to just fully just go.
No, he must have done.
Would you sell Pogba?
But then I
this
hate
summer
that
to
because if
fund-
it's dive,
well, we'll come back to that.
you have to book someone, right?
No,
I hate refs.
No, you don't.
No, but I hate that if the refs waved away.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's dived because I haven't seen it properly. If you wave away a penalty shout because you think the player's dived, please book him.
Well, no, because it's not just dive or penalty, is it? Go on.
But I think
Bruno giving
it's
the
getting
ball away
it's
there.
getting that way now with the VAR where they've looked at it where there's contact and you go down. That's it. There's a penalty. There isn't a there's a
Are they
little bit of
checking it?
contact.
We can't hear the commentator, so we don't know.
Then
From open play, from as you would say on FIFA, the telecamera angle, it looked like a pen to me. You said no.
Yeah, I didn't think so instinctively. I thought he just got a bit of contact on his
But
hip.
the ref seems sure it's not being checked because this throw-in's going to get taken straight
Yeah.
away.
I think we're going to see a replay, or they're looking at.
But then, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, all right, I don't want him to get booked. But if he's dived there, book him.
But isn't there? Isn't
Like,
there
why
the-
don't refs do that?
But isn't there the chance that there was
No,
some
don't
contact?
give that.
He barged into him, but not enough for it to be a foul, but enough that if
But
he
if there's
fell over.
contact and the player drops, that's a penalty. I'm sorry, but like,
Well, that's not true, though, is it?
Why?
You're allowed to make contact,
but the
if
player
it
was
isn't a
behind
foul.
Anthony Martial. He wasn't in front of him.
Well, let's see. I don't know. I need to see a replay of this.
Oh, nah, he's pulled his arm and he's gone to win it.
that's a dive.
It's a shirt pull. He's fought the shirt pull.
That's a,
What do you think then? Yellow card
that's
dive?
a dive.
I think you get a free kick. I think it's a dive. I think he's gone down.
So you think he should have been booked?
Yeah. Because it's a dive.
People say not a pen. Don't think it's a pen.
But he's exaggerated the pull, hasn't
He did pull his shirt.
He's
though.
exaggerated the pull.
He fell. It's weird because the only thing players know to try and get a free kick or a penalty is to fall on the floor.
But then
if someone
we
pulled your
saw-
shirt, you won't fall over.
But if Martial runs there, and let's say he's getting howled,
Yeah.
and then the player releases and Martial carries on with the ball, but he runs into a dead end.
Yeah.
We all say, why didn't you go down?
Yeah.
Innit?
I agree. I'm just saying. It's almost like they need
That's
another
a horrible
way.
tackle that is, bro. What
Yeah.
the fuck was
That's
that?
a booking. That's a booking.
Who is this?
That's got to be a booking.
Rashford skinned him.
This happens all the time. It happened against Arsenal. It's happening again here. You knock the ball past someone and they dive from behind
bruv, that's a horrible tackle,
and foul you. That's a yellow card. He's not going for the ball. He's trying to stop the man there.
And he was kind of
against
coming
Arsenal.
down on the back of his
Fucking shit, that.
Achilles.
Just bad
Oh,
refereeing.
what a
There's a
ball,
pass.
Matic.
Mata. It's too slow.
If Matic had legs, he would have got to that.
Poor Matter running through custard. The lad.
Matter had legs.
Not all contact equals a penalty.
True say, Beyonce.
Although, yeah, someone said if that happened outside the box, you'd get a free kick for it.
Yeah,
you
that's
might
true.
well do.
Them ones frustrate me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who gets away with diving? Defenders.
Massively.
Do you know when defenders are in the corner blocking the ball and a striker will come and touch them and then they'll just,
Woo! Yeah,
and it's
just
like
go flying.
they get away with it. No one ever says, "Oh, you're diving!" Like
No.
defenders get away with it.
I've seen Maguire
Keepers
do
as
a
well.
couple of them.
Keepers going up for.
It's clever, isn't it? But
Yeah, definitely keepers.
Keepers going up. What is
who
that,
the
Bruno?
fuck was that to, Bruno?
I think he was trying to put it on his head, wasn't he?
Whose head?
Marshall.
Whose head? The lad at the
Marshall.
The ball boy.
I think the aim of the pass was to put it on Marshall's head for him to head it in, not to
Over
control
here.
it. Yeah.
Where are we going here? Is this a live shot? What's going on?
Ollie's just going back to sit down. What's he doing here?
He's not happy.
I don't know what's
He is
going on with
not-
this.
He is not happy.
No, they don't look happy. Is there no way we can get a little bit of volume on this?
Ollie, Carrick, and is it Phelan?
Yeah, we're all having a look at the monitor there, weren't they?
Not that he's going to do anything now, but
No, I think they're just looking at that pull, aren't they? Because he did pull his shirt.
it's a foul.
Yeah, it's a weird one, that.
But it's not. It's like you do have that kind of, because the reward is a penalty.
Yeah.
It's almost like
We
I
can't give
can't
it for
give
that.
that.
Yeah.
Because the reward is a penalty. Whereas if the reward was a free kick, I'll give that because it's only a free kick.
Yeah, I'll uphold the rules for this because even if I was a bit soft with it, they're not going to score from it anyway. It doesn't matter. But obviously, a penalty, you've got to be more certain.
It's like with handballs. They'll go, if there's a hand involved in a build up to a goal, even though it's not handball, the goal doesn't stand.
Mate.
Yeah, but they don't give them for defenders, do they? Or they've changed it now, but the rule for ages was it has to be deliberate for the defender and it can be accidental for the attacker. Well, that doesn't make sense, does it? Samuel says, if you dive in your own box, is it a penalty? Yes, I guess it would be.
Indirect free kick, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't see as many indirect free kicks as you used to.
No,
You usually get for
Well, that's an
obstruction, but I
indirect
think
free
that's
kick.
an indirect free kick.
Is
It'd
it?
be like a back pass.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
would
back
because
pass,
it's
famously.
not a foul, isn't it?
I like an indirect.
I
free
think so. Someone double check for me. If Steve was here, he'd probably, I know this one because I read this book and it fucking had that in it.
Well, actually,
Well, he knows the, he
it's
he
called
knows
an
the FA
indirect free
rules.
kick,
back to
but it
front
should
now,
actually be
Steve
called
Howson.
Yeah.
a soft penalty.
30 minutes passed without any purposeful play. Well, we had a shot on goal from about
Well, we had
6
a
yards
shot
out a minute ago.
We should have scored.
I mean, like one-on-one with the goalkeeper shot that was saved. I think you could call that purposeful.
I think what you got to realise is, we as fans, and I include myself in this, when we're caught up in the emotions of watching the game, we can tend to be irrational in those moments.
Yeah.
But then when you take the game as a whole, so let's say if we were poor for this first half, it was 0-0, and then the second half we scored 4 goals. No one remembers this first half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
'Cause the grand, obviously, it's not been a great half though.
Well, that's what happens again. Like, I know obviously the result matters, which is why this happens. But if you win the game, people act as though the team was good the whole game, and if they lose the game, it's kind of what you said, isn't it? Where
was like with that
no matter
Fulham
what,
FC era.
you must have been shit because you lost. You can never have played well
Matic
and
has been a
lost.
bit shit today though.
Yeah, he has. He's been a bit wasteful on the
When
ball.
was his last start?
Well, he played against Istanbul, didn't he?
Played Istanbul.
Okay.
That's a while ago.
Yeah, but
And they were shit.
that was our worst game ever.
It was bad. No, well, defensively, it was one of our worst.
It was
games,
our
I'd
worst
say.
game under Ollie since Everton.
Do you think?
Since
big
Everton,
shout.
yeah.
Maybe. The Tottenham game wasn't much better, though, was it?
No, but there was.
Well, I
I
think
found
there's-
out there was extenuating circumstances.
There was
for
the
that.
red card with that kind of.
Whoa! What a pass from Bruno that was. Fucking hell.
After playing possibly the worst pass of the day,
That was
like
insane.
5 minutes ago.
No one's seen
His
that.
pass to Mata then was.
Who's
immaculate.
following this up? Martial's offside.
No,
No,
he's
he
not.
wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. What are you on about?
What are you on
What
about?
game are you watching?
I thought he looked offside.
Miles
No, he was
offside.
offside for the Bruno pass, but he never went for the Bruno pass. He went for the cutback. It's a shame.
Sam Johnson
Defender did
has
well.
just tipped it off him.
Unlucky there.
So basically, what we've seen is Bruno played a crossfield ball. Mata was running in on the back post, went for the cutback to Martial, who's in the 6-yard box. But a West Bromwich Albion defender got in and cut it out. We're 33.5 minutes into the first half. 0-0. United have dominated possession. We've had one clear-cut chance, I'd say.
Yeah, a few half.
Very good save from Sam Johnston.
Yeah, very good.
Although Martial...
And a great save
think he
from
should have scored.
David De Gea as well, tipping it round
Oh,
his
yeah,
right hand
you're right.
post. That was a really good save.
Trouble.
Just fingertip flick. West Bromwich attacking here. We had a super chat before that I read half it out and then stopped. Would you be willing to sell Paul Pogba to aid the purchase of Jack Grealish? I'll come to you second, Adam.
I've answered this question already this week. Yeah.
I would, but that's not how things work with Manchester United. That's the worry with everything at the minute is that You don't just sell a player and that means we're going to get that player in.
We'd use that for right wing and then we'd need a midfielder
Yeah,
again.
it's not.
2 years later, we're like, we should probably buy someone to
We need
replace Paul
Pogba.
Pogba. He's not been great at Juve. Let's get him back.
Yeah, I don't trust the board just to reinvest it straight away and do that kind of thing where you just kind of.
I don't think we should have to sell one to get the other.
No,
So
and that's
no. But if you offered me the swap now, I'd say yeah. But I want Pogba to stay and do well. I think he's one of our best players. Hasn't been playing like it recently, but I think he still
I agree
is.
with that. But if
Played Martial, played
corner ball.
But if that was the overall plan, they went, right, we're going to get rid of Paul Pogba, Jack Grealish is going to come in, we're going to sign another defensive midfielder as well in this whole money, I'd be happy. I wouldn't be devastated. That's what needs to happen. You know, if that's what needs to happen, if that's what builds the better squad for Manchester United, then I think we should do it. But I said there's the
I think
worry.
Pogba signs a new deal.
Yeah.
It's
weird that he hasn't already, really, because they've been talking about that since last season now, and there seems to have been no movement.
I think there
on
could
that
be
at
a
all.
little bit with United trying to hold out, knowing that the price isn't going to go up at this point, is it? It's going to probably.
Oh! Corner, Maguire! Oh! He's hit him in the head. Has he just stopped the? He stopped the
It's a
game.
head injury. It's a head injury.
What? Even when someone kicks the ball at your face, they stop the game.
Harry Maguire's knocked someone out with a.
Surely they don't stop it for that. I know it's technically a head injury. He's only kicked the ball at him.
Yeah, but he has knocked him clean out here.
Is he giving it for the
Oh,
foul?
right in the mush.
Right in the chippy tea, that one.
Did he give it for a foul?
I think he might have given it for the
It
nudge.
weren't a foul.
Oh.
It was going over anyway, I think.
That's a proper uppercut
That would really
shot,
hurt.
that.
Do you know when someone kicks the ball at your face and you can feel like your lips are swollen?
Now, the ref weren't going to give that foul.
No.
Because you're like, I reckon people can see it. It hurts me so much they must be able to see it, and you're like, but you know they can't, so
Yeah,
you got
I
to run
think
around.
your lips are doing
Yeah,
this.
you got to run around like,
Why-
hi
why
lads.
can I not?
Feel like your lips are about to fall off. That was good.
Should
I don't
score.
really know what the foul was given for there.
Remember when Ibue smashed John Terry's face with his foot? That was a great moment.
Are we allowed to say that?
Kicking
Yeah.
racism out
We're
of
allowed-
football. Of course,
we're
you're
allowed
allowed
to
to say
condone
that. You're allowed to kick racism. out of
Okay,
football.
good. Jack with the super chat says Kane instead of Martial would be 2-0 up.
Possibly.
I
He
asked this
possibly
before.
misses the chances as well.
I asked Adam this before. Would you rather have Harry Kane or Hyun Min Son for Manchester United?
At United, I'd rather have Heung-min Son because I think you could play him. I know he can play sort of anywhere. He could play on the right. I know he's not necessarily a right winger, but if you said to him, "You're playing on the right," he would, and he'd be good at it. And then when Rashford gets injured, or like if Rashford's got a knock, instead of having to play, we could just play Heung-min Son. And same with in the striker position, he's just really versatile, isn't he?
Oh, come on, Bruno! Fuck's sake.
What do you think, Adam?
What?
Who would rather have Kane or Heung-min Son at United?
I think Kane's the better player, but I'd rather have Son. Actually, I don't know. It's a hard one.
I think he's more of a United
Because I
player.
think if you have Kane, yeah, the way you play football changes dramatically. I'm not saying we play great football at the moment, but you almost look to be providing for him, don't you? Maybe. Whereas if you get Son, I think it plays into your team playing better football.
Handle there.
That's a
That
shit
Wan-Bissaka
pass.
though.
that is.
But do you think that having a focal point to the team might be a good thing for United, rather than like, oh, we have to play around Kane? Instead, you say he's the focal point of this team, and we've got some sort of purpose and direction going forward. Do you know what I mean? Rather than having like a team full of players where they can
We're
play any
asking
position.
about
Things that aren't
two
gonna
very good players, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, I think Kane, I used to think Aguero was the best striker in the league. I think Kane's that now because of injuries and obviously age. So it's not like I don't think Kane's a great player, because I do, but I just think.
I think Son's more of a United player.
Yeah,
I think
but then Kane's goals probably turned this team into a league title team.
A lot of people in the comments saying that about how they think Son is more of a United player or would suit United more, even though Kane might be a sort of a better goal scorer.
He's the better player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Like Kane is the best
Kane
in his position
got,
in the world.
75 goals in 2017 or 2016.
No, but I
So
mean,
you just take a
Kane
touch
is the
there,
best
mate.
striker in his position and the best player in his position in the world.
Apart
Do you
from
think
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski?
Actually, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Apart from Robert Lewandowski.
I don't think
he's-
Lewandowski's ahead of him though. I think they're like
There's
that.
a close
Nah,
second.
come on.
No, there's a close second.
Genuinely, I
Lewandowski
think
gets
that-
40 odd goals a season.
He's definitely
on
second.
form.
Yeah.
Lewandowski won the Champions League. He would have won Ballon d'Or. All
Yeah.
that. Okay, cool. But if you were to put a price tag on both of them,
Yeah.
you're saying Lewandowski's worth more than Kane.
Well, that's
Just 'cause of
different though,
age.
isn't it?
Just because of
No,
age.
but
Also, he's English, so that always makes players cost more. He's younger. I think if you had a 26 or 27-year-old Lewandowski and Harry Kane now, I think Lewandowski would be worth more money, yeah. I think Lewandowski
he's a close
is
second.
an incredible player. But yeah, he's right up there, regardless of who's...
I'm not
You know, go
disrespecting
either way.
Lewandowski, by the way, but because I think he should have got Ballon d'Or. And it was a disgrace that it was cancelled. Like,
Well, they're doing that.
that,
FIFA,
who the fuck did that then?
I think it was Tellez.
Is that Tellez?
Stitching up Harry Maguire there.
Fucking battered at him.
What he wants to look at? That's not his
This
value.
is what
It's
is
not
this?
his true value. They're not true values.
Ronaldo,
Let's
can you?
not.
They're literally not true values.
People mention Haaland as well.
Cam was showing me the values of the players on Transfermarkt. 54 million for Lewandowski, 108 million for Kane. It's not really true values, is it?
No. And also, Lewandowski probably would be worth less because he's
older.
And he's Polish.
Yeah.
It's not as sexy, is it?
No.
As much as...
Well, English players just
if he was
tend to have a
Spanish,
British, don't they?
if he was German, he'd be a
If he was English.
£150 million player.
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
I was
But
worried
you were
about
saying that,
this.
yeah, you think Kane's one of the best strikers in his position, or best players
Well, I
in
think
his position.
he's, pound for pound, the best striker in the world.
And the fact that he's got 9 assists already this season, which is something he's added to his game. When someone gets that many assists this
It's almost
early on,
as good
do
as
you
a
think
Pete
it's a
Rooney.
fluke, though? Do you think that's a fluke?
What?
That he's got... Because he's just got this flurry of assists, hasn't he, where you think, surely he hasn't just become one of the best passers and assist makers in the league overnight.
No, what you've got is you've got the system that Jose's playing.
Oh. They've gone very close to scoring there.
Yeah, they did.
Also, I think Kane is one of those players, much like Ronaldo. I reckon Kane's gone this season. I want to get Henry's record. Do you know what I mean?
20
most
assists.
goals, most assists. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Jose sat down and went, boom,
What do
all
I
right,
do?
you're going to get 20 goals, 20 assists this season.
I think as well the way
And he's gone, all right, let
Do
me
you think
just
that's
super
because-
weigh up my goals at this, my assists at this start of the season.
Some of that might be because, obviously, I know Christian Eriksen didn't play much last season, but he was their big creator in that team, wasn't he? And they've got some decent players, and they've got Lo Celso, who scored today, came off the bench. They've got Ndombele as well, who can do a bit of that. But they haven't got, like...
Also,
mean,
I think it's a...
Kane has more of a responsibility in terms of assists now.
I think it's an injury thing as well. He's had a few injuries, muscle injuries, disc injuries. Has he got the pace to be... I know he's never relied on pace.
sounds good.
Has he got the pace to be stretching defences? Do you know what I mean? Has he got that anymore?
Yeah.
Son has. Mora have. Bale has. So maybe him dropping in deep in that false 9 position. His long range shooting's very good. So if he drops deep, others are playing off him, he's arriving late.
He can just pop it in the corner from 20 yards, can't he? Apparently,
I
Haaland
don't
just scored 2
care.
goals in 2 minutes. Talking about the debate of who's the best striker in Europe.
Haaland's not better than Kane.
Haaland, who won the
If
Golden...
Greenwood played in
Golden Boy.
Germany,
By the way, that's shocking.
and Rashford and Marshall played in Germany or
Golden
France,
Boy
they'd have
thing.
50 goals a season, bro.
Mason Greenwood, 12.
Haaland's mint, and he deserved to get Golden Boy, but come on, man.
Mason Greenwood 12th on the list is ridiculous, by the way.
Flat trap bullying at the moment in Germany.
It's weird as well.
Could
'cause-
say the same about Lewandowski, who we've just been pouring praise on, but he done it in the Champions League.
Yeah. The votes on that were like, Haaland got 300, then the next place
How
got
did
200.
Saka get ahead of Greenwood?
Yeah,
bro?
mental.
What the fuck? So who's been fucking voting on that, bro?
I don't know who votes in that one, to be honest. It's usually just journalists or players, isn't it?
Fucking idiots.
People saying that we're overrating him. He's not that special.
Who?
Haaland, I think.
Oh, all right.
I don't know.
I don't know what I was talking about.
Fred with the ball at the back
Hello?
post. Marshall. Oh, just in between 2 men there.
Oh, for fuck's
What's
sake.
going on here?
Too much. We're
Apart
just
from
trying
that
too
pass,
many long
Bruno's
passes,
been
aren't we?
shizzle today.
Yeah. None of our attacking players have looked any good.
Where's
to be
Alex
honest.
Tellers, by the way? He's just having a stroll up there.
He's on the defensive line there.
That's a foul.
Yeah.
Van der Beek out there warming up.
It's been a typical first half after an international break. The problem for United is we haven't won all of our games so that we're allowed this.
Yeah, we're going to get a bit...
Do you know what I mean? If you've won all your games and you start off slowly in this game, it's we just come back from internationals,
Yeah,
you know.
we'll get a goal in a sec. Oh, what?
Who was that, bro?
Marcus. No need for that. Was Bruno having that speculative effort?
Yeah, I think so.
Bruno wastes bare shit, man. Like, bro, I know
So
you're
a shot from
frustrated.
40 yards out.
I know
think
you're
he saw the
frustrated.
keeper
We're all
off his
frustrated,
line,
but
maybe.
sometimes don't show your frustration like that, wasting the ball.
I don't... Yeah, wasn't clever, that.
Because I know a couple next mans do that. The narrative's different.
But you think the fact that he's got so many goals and assists means that he's allowed to do that without getting criticised? Because he's probably going to get a goal or assist in this game.
You can't just fuck the ball off like that last minute of the game when we're trying to score a goal. It's a waste of time, man. Got all your team up there like that. We brought Maguire, Lindelof forward.
We're going to be going over to Stephen Howson's and
I'm not that
Ronaldo's
concerned,
half-time
though,
in a minute. Go on then.
Go on.
A few... You know, it's just one of them games, isn't it? But the performance needs to go up in the second half.
Yep, absolutely.
Dreadful worst United team ever, someone in the comments saying.
So close.
It's not the worst.
It's not the worst United team ever, is it? Come on. Let's not be silly.
Last year's United was pretty close to that.
Half-time then, 0-0 at the moment. Sam Johnson with a couple of good saves. Not really many chances for him to save, were there, to be honest?
Just that one point-blank save from Martial, which I thought was a good save. Martial's probably thinking he should have scored that, though. Lift it a little bit, you score.
Yeah, I think.
But he did everything that he would have been asked to: get it low, get it on target. Good save, but we haven't. Apart from that, we haven't created anything.
No, I think it's one of them. You score that. If you score that goal, I think it's a comfortable game. I think we said this at the start of the game that this is one of them games that shouldn't be nervy, but we've got to half time. We've not really threatened too much. It's now getting to that point that we've still not won at home.
The thing is, you knew it would be a bit nervy, though, didn't you? Really, because we've not looked good at home in any game. Or sorry, you knew it wouldn't be a fluid, we're 2-3-0 up at half-time game. Or if you did expect that, it's not due to the form that we've shown at home. We've been shocking at home this season, so it's no surprise that we might have to grind it out. We might have to miss a couple of chances and nick it late on, or even if we pull ahead in the second half, that'd be good. But it's not a surprise to me that we've looked a bit shit first half. Surely no one's surprised by that.
No. Sadly not.
No.
Sadly not.
We're going to be going over to Ronaldo and Stephen Howson in just a moment to look at some of the stats and to give their thoughts on the first half. First half, then, Adam. How would you rate what we've seen so far?
Shit.
Worst United team ever?
Oh, nah. I mean,
That's what someone said in the comments.
The worst United team ever. Probably like Van Gaal in December.
That was rough, wasn't it? When it looked like they didn't want to score.
I think this is the best United team we've had since Fergie left. That's why I have been really massively disappointed with some of the performances this season.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot. I mean, the squad's looking a lot better, but it's just I don't know. I think the whole team in general is just still a bit. They've not got the flow of the season going. We've had the bad results here and there. It seemed like we've had the big results and then it kind of dropped off straight after it, and that's a bit of a worry. And I don't know. This is the important run of games now. We've got a few winnable games, and we have to. I don't know. We need to kick on in the second half.
There's a lot of players out there who haven't been very good as well, isn't there? That's the problem. Bruno's been wasteful. Martial's not looked great. I can't even remember Rashford being on the ball particularly.
Mata's not really going to the game.
Been a little flick here and there. He's tried to make a few runs that he's not fast enough to make. Like basically the whole attacking side of the team.
I think it is down to the way we're set up as well. Matic and Fred are too flat. Bruno's there, it's disjointed. So there's no connection between them two and him and them three. So it's almost like Bruno just plays for himself most weeks anyway. And then everybody else is Martial, you can tell he needs a goal, so he's snatching at things. And then Rashford is not in the game. But even if you can say he's not fit, but he started. So, who else is playing? Matter's
not really looked up to it.
Matter's made some very good runs and got into great areas. And
yeah.
Look, I think there's another day where Marshall takes that one. Matter's ball finds Marshall. He's got 2 goals and we're going in at 2-0 up. But I think it's kind of one of them games you'd expect after the international break. But we haven't got the luxury of points in the bag or performances in the bag. And I expected a little bit more.
Right, then we're going to go over to Stephen and Ronaldo now, who are going to take you through halftime, have a look at some stats and a little bit more at United's first half performance.
Head over to stretfordpaddock.bigcartel.com and check out the Paddock merch. And for a short time, you can get 20% off orders with 2 items or more using the code Paddock20. Go get on it.
Yay, we're here. You can buy one of these T-shirts, like they just said on there. Anyway, I see the frustration in everybody's eyes. Ronaldo just said, do you know how hard it is being a United fan? I mean, if you don't sum up most of this generation, our kid, I don't know what does.
I don't know what's worse, obviously, the performance or West Brom's kit.
Yeah, it's not a great colour.
It's not a great kit either.
Right, I think I know what's going on. A little bit, I think I know what's going on. So I've drawn some stuff on my notepad here, right? The major thing that I'm seeing here is that United are being funneled to a narrow point, if that makes sense. Juan Mata on the right-hand side and Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side are not in the mixer whatsoever there. It's because it's gone off. It's the cable. It's the cable. It's the power cable. So you can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
It's gone back to the other guys. That's you on air, Adam.
Hello. Yeah, the camera's gone off there. Sorry, the camera's gone off over there. We've had this problem with that camera before. Not sure why that's happened.
All right.
You're right, Adam. First half, thoughts?
Shit. I hate this place today. I can't be asked to be here, to be honest. I turned up down here. Cam was being a little bitch. Killed my vibe immediately.
And now
United are being little bitches. That's killed my vibe immediately. And then Steve's being a little bitch. His camera's not working. So I have to talk now when I don't even want it.
Right, it's working now. You don't have to talk anymore. You happy? Stephen and Ronaldo. Get him some happiness.
Hey, did I not come down happy?
Now you were happy in it, but I don't know why.
No, right. Happy's giddy. Right. I'm not happy. Yeah. I'm not giddy. But I'm seeing what the issue is. So United are coming into like a bit of a narrow point. Juan Mata's being wasted on the right-hand side. Marcus Rashford, I don't think, has left the changing rooms on the other side. So here's what's going down. The fact that we've got a back 5 up against us, Furlong and Ajay on their right-hand side and Townsend, Ivanovic on the other side, they're doubling up on our wide players. Because they're doubling up on our wide players are not getting, 1, involved, and 2, anywhere near as much ball as you would hope them to have. Mata and Rashford's involvement is about half as much as involved as Bruno has been, half as much involved as any of the rest of the midfield has been. And because of that, they're limiting those threats. Now, I think United need to get a little bit more runs in behind. Marcus Rashford is the guy for that. And Juan Mata needs to be a little bit more energetic with these movements and look for Tony Marshall maybe to drag people out over this side of the box. And let's see them work like that. But United have to get the ball further forward.
Do you know what I've actually noticed? It's funny that you say that because I'd say if I'm judging off the first half, I'd say Mata actually made more incisive attempts at runs in behind than Rashford even did, which it should be the other way around because there's been a couple of balls through to Mata where obviously we saw the one with Bruno where he got in back post and you saw one where he just didn't get to it because Mata simply does not have the pace for it. So it's been a couple of them where you thought if it was Rashford he'd get on the end of it.
But it's a mismatch, isn't it, though? Because you've got Wan-Bissaka who there's no point even allowing overlapping. Wan-Bissaka, that it seems to me they're letting him have the ball.
He really needs to develop that side of his game, you know. I'm not going to lie.
Because what's going to happen? Yeah. Have it. I want to see more of Alex Telles. I want to see him try and take some on. This is a guy that was scoring 20-plus goals when he was playing in Portugal. Show me. I want to see that side of his game now. Yes, it's his first Premier League start. Yes, he's recovering the Rona, but the guy's played about 5 games last week for Brazil. So, let's just see something. Don't tell me he ain't fit because I know that he's fit. Yeah. We've seen a lot of Matic on the ball, and I think he looks okay. We're seeing a lot of Fred on the ball. It's Fred. Bruno, though, I think needs to start doing more of his work in the final third. I'm seeing too much of Bruno on the halfway line.
Do you know why he does that, though?
Boredom.
I don't think boredom, and I don't think he believes in the creative ability in Matic and Fred. I don't think he believes in them two in getting him the ball in dangerous areas. Because if you're playing on the point of a 3 like that as a number 10, you are relying on the players behind you getting you the ball through the lines, and I don't think he believes. I know players know this when they're on teams, and it kind of affects their
Oh,
tendencies.
they look at it as and go,
I don't think Matic and Fred are going to get me the ball here if I stay here. So I do not believe in my own team's creativity, so I'm going to drop deep as possible to get on it and do something. And obviously, he gets a little bit lost doing that, but he needs a little bit of help. And I think that just comes from the fact that he's so passionate and he wants to make things happen, and sometimes to a fault when he gives the ball away and he's a bit wasteful. But I can see why he drops deep. You kind of see it sometimes with, obviously it's not a fair comparison when you've seen the likes of Messi for Barcelona when he gets a bit too, when he goes a little bit too deep. Yeah, but it's not the same comparison, but the same kind of scheme in the fact that when they're not getting the ball in areas, they go searching for it. That kind of stuff.
I'm making 2 subs, me, Ronnie.
What subs are you making, Steve?
I'm going to make Cavani for Marcus.
Serious?
Yeah,
Half time?
Yeah, I would. He's not been in the game, mate. We've put in, I think, 6 crosses. I think Matt put the best one in.
And Cavani's,
Yeah, let's try and do something a little bit different. I'd say, right, we're going to go Van der Beek.
You're going to twist.
I'm going to go with Van der Beek instead of Fred, someone who's got a little bit more creative output. And I go with Cavani over Marcus because I don't think Marcus has been involved at all today.
And I do agree with you with the Cavani introduction because there's been a couple of instances where I was saying to you before we went on this, sometimes in this United team you think we kind of lack that bit of the inbox predator.
Yeah.
And that kind of Javier Hernandez. That was his name, yeah. Hernandez and the likes of Vinicius. I'm not even obviously poachers to an extent, but they're just not even a poacher. They're a bit more alive in the box. Proper forward.
A centre forward.
Because you saw in the first half there's a couple of where the ball's come across the box or...
Marshall's had chances that,
Yeah.
Okay, 1 or 2 chances. A forward's got to be allowed 1 or 2 chances. When it starts getting to 4 and 5 chances, you go, mate, one of these has to have gone in. That's not acceptable. 1 or 2, it'd be nice if they did go in, but it's not like catastrophic if it doesn't go in. Let us know in the comments, everyone, what you guys think. What substitutions would you guys make? Remember when Adam was happy? No.
Remember when United were good?
Someone was moaning about me saying that yesterday.
No.
Because I accidentally got Tevez on the screen. We'd sat there for 2 hours watching reruns of when we were good. And the bit where I decided to get it accidentally got Tevez and people lost their mind. Do you think I like Tevez? Stop it. James says, no, James, need Cavani for frontman. Yeah, James isn't the sub. If James comes on, I think we've lost it a little bit there.
Yeah, you've given up on... Don't be honest. You've given up on James, isn't it, Steve? I feel like you.
I gave up on him the Leeds game in pre-season last year.
You weren't convinced.
No end product on the guy.
I remember.
Then he started with a lot of end products.
You kept questioning his end product before, and then you had that start where he was banging it in at assist, and everyone was like, I remember when Steve said, James can't do it.
He's got any end products. And even if he was right a couple of times. A couple of people saying Van der Beek
for his goal for Wales.
Good finish. Why do you think? Why are people saying Van der Beek for Mata, do you think?
I think people just want to see Van der Beek on a pitch how the way it is. I don't think there's any massive reason for it. I thought Mata. I don't know. Did you agree with the Mata selection just because you thought the Banks of thought sometimes we think play Mata because he's a bit creative?
In my opposition preview, I sort of alluded to I think he could play because this is the kind of game that I think he would do all right in. For me, and we've seen bits of it. This West Brom defence, the 5 of them, they spread out. They're not narrow. Like they don't sit all inside the box.
There, innit? But
you can. There's gaps in between all of the centre halves. Marshall's found a couple of them gaps. We've found those gaps, and I don't think that's the major issue. What I see is gaps in between them there, and I also see gaps in between that back 5 as a whole unit, and then the midfield 4. Like I see gaps in this area here, and the 2 people that for me in this team work the best in that area is Juan Mata and Bruno Fernandez. So I would always think that's a good option. You can get in behind this defence because they're sitting off us, but they're not low blocking us.
I wouldn't say that. I was gonna say I don't think they've completely low blocked. I've seen them when the ball does get to our centre halves and back. They are putting on a little bit of a press. It's not like they're completely sitting back. So
I think they're pressing the channel. Yeah. And I think that's why Mata and Rashford have struggled. When the ball comes out into those wide areas, just over the halfway line and totally in their third, 3 players are pressing it to keep it or win it back in that area, which is weird. I don't see many teams pressing like a wide area. You usually press, maybe a back line, maybe a middle line, obviously a forward.
So you think they're forcing channels?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they're allowing us to come through the centre of the pitch here. That's why you're seeing Lindelof's been on the ball. Let's get the stats up for it. So Lindelof's been on the ball, I think, the most in the United team. But I will get it up. So, yeah, he's had 44 out of 50 passes. The Man United next. I mean, they literally play right on top of each other, 42 and 50. Wan-Bissaka's next, which, again, I think they're putting him on the ball. Alex Telles is the next one. Bruno Fernandez. They're letting us have the ball there. They're allowing us to come through into the middle, and then they're trying to force us wide into those areas by being a little bit narrow with the midfield, but then a bit open with the back five. And then they're pushing us into these two zones, either side, and then they're pressing us.
But I still think there's a goal in it for us, but I don't see them posing too much of a massive threat, but I don't want to be kind of jinxing it because we know what's been happening with the recent United. We are very...
At home as well. Flat.
Yeah, it's flat. We're saying that every game, though. It's language. It's starting to piss me off. It is pissing me off because
it's
I'm
lazy,
saying it,
but it's true at the same time.
It's lazy just to say flat. You feel like anyone could just say flat, but that's exactly how we describe our performances whenever we play at home.
But at the same time, like Ollie said yesterday, our best performance this season was Leipzig at home, and we twatted them 5-0, and it was at home. Abhijit says, Fred and Matic should feed Bruno in pockets in between the defence and midfield. Calvin says, why we are playing with 2 CDMs at home. I mean, we're not playing with 2 CDMs at home. Let's pull it back to this and let's have a quick look. If we have a look at influence on here, let's see. Yeah. You'll see where Fred is. Fred's in the opposition half. There's, Juan Mata's not too far off him. Fred's quite high up the pitch. He's not playing as a defensive midfielder. He's doing bits. Anyway, that's it from us. Make sure you're shaving your balls and all that sort of good stuff. You can get 20% off.
You want to see Steve's analysis
if you like
on K-pop? On big. I told you.
Look at that. It's probably too bright for that screen.
Keep giving us super chats and you can get one.
Yeah. If there's enough super chats, I'll post it you. How about that for a finger? You can have it. Right. Back over to Joe, Alex, and a sulky Mckola.
Thoughts on sulky Mckola?
He's not that sulky.
He was struggling with that first half.
You've still got your drink dripping off your beard.
We've had a few super chats over half-time. Let's get into those. While drinking McDrink
he talks about sulky Adam while he's sulky Alex over there.
Ollie looks dejected. Are you concerned by his body language?
Oh, fuck. If he smiles when we lose or he fucking growls when we draw, I don't know.
My feeling trying to talk to him is just barking at him. Take Fred or Matic off and get Donny on, question mark?
Oh, just kill me, please.
Okay, Alex?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well, he's not done it, so
Matic has been poor as well.
Nathan Salakis has said, how frustrating is watching this United team? Couldn't break down a sandcastle at the beach. 0-0 is my prediction, lads.
Cavani's did a bit of yoga on the sideline.
What is he doing? Just hopping. We were saying this, weren't we? It is disappointing that, you could predict that we would struggle to break down and to create chances against West Brom at home. And it's a shame that you have to think that, isn't it? That, we're probably going to struggle against West Brom. We are struggling against West Brom.
Oh, my Jeebus.
No.
Harry's going to foul him. Oh,
nice.
Great play.
He's recovered well.
Oh, no.
We've not, though.
Oh!
He's given
penalty.
He's not give that.
Give it a penalty. It's going to VAR it.
Fernandez playing like he's on speed again. That's why you don't fucking... You don't have to do everything all the time, man. He's won the ball! He's won the ball! He's megged him!
Yeah.
He's won the ball!
He gets the ball. He
can't give that.
How is that a penalty?
Nah, he's going to overturn that, surely. He kicks the ball.
He's won the ball!
He kicks the ball. Surely that's not a penalty.
Is that Todd Cantwell?
No, it looks like him. It looks like him. He's just got blonde hair.
That's not a penalty, you son of a bitch.
VAR, he gets the ball.
Nah! Even if he kicks him, that's not a penalty. So you're allowed to pull someone like that?
He gets
the ball. I think he kicks the top of the ball, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
But it would...
Surely he kicks the top of the ball.
He gives the penalty.
He's going to go have a look at this.
He's going to have a look. He's going to have a look.
It makes sense to have a look at it.
Yeah, it's tight. I think he kicks the ball.
I think he gives the pen.
And then the shin to shin afterwards.
But how is that? You touch the ball, a little bit of the man. He gives a pen. But Okay, we all said it shouldn't have been a penalty
Yeah.
for Marshall. So I'm not saying it's a pen before people start.
But you're saying it
I'm just
also
making
shouldn't
a
have
case
been
for
a
an
pen.
argument that how can you give that, but for an actual pull, you don't give
But
anything.
then the Villa game as well today, where there was more contact on the man than there was there.
I don't want to play this game. I don't want to be here anymore.
That's not a pen. He doesn't. He gets the ball there.
He kicks the ball first, surely. Come on, he kicks the ball
You
first.
best do the bastard TV sign. Yeah!
Yay!
Fucking love VAR.
Very
mate.
good. Very good. That's the right decision, ref. Well done. We agree that's the right
Love that.
decision.
Bruno needs to chill now, bro.
Yeah, he does.
That was rash.
A great tackle, though.
It wasn't.
Was it?
No, I'm joking. God.
Well, it
No
was now
joking
because
on
he won
here.
the ball, but
Yeah.
I feel like there's two players in front of him then. You don't need to rush in like that.
Nah.
It's because he feels like I've got to do everything. Have you
Yeah.
noticed he don't play like that for Portugal, bro?
Because he's not the main
Ronaldo's
man
there.
for Portugal. He's the main man for United. He is.
Ronaldo's
There's
there.
no denying that, is
But
there?
it's like, I know, but it's like, just try and chill. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Super chat from Usman. He says, we're not concerned that we have so much trouble breaking teams down. Why are we playing two holding midfielders? Mata over Donny, fed up, to be honest.
That was never a pen. But
Does
he
it worry
shouldn't
you
have
that
rushed
we're
into that.
Mata
struggling
over
to break
Donny.
teams down?
Oh, touch. Oh.
You don't play Donny over Mata. That's not a swap. Like they don't
But
play
I
the same
hear what
position.
people are saying because Mata isn't a wide player. So it's not like we're playing a natural winger right there. So why can't you play Donny van der Beek there?
Yeah.
Because Donny manipulates space. He picks up pockets. He goes in between lines. He's quicker than Mata. He'll play the ball as well as Mata. He picks, so
Yeah.
like, why can you play Mata there but you can't play Donny there? But that's
Sorry, Rashford almost popping one in the top corner there. Another good save.
But that's
from
the
Stretford.
thing.
know.
That's why I think
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
down to. It's not down to him being a backup,
Yeah.
or I'm not going to play him because he's a backup. It's down to let me just take my time with him.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yeah.
Effort this from Marcus, by the way.
Yeah, great shot. Ball swerving
Was
all
it?
over the place.
It was just going in.
comfortable save in the end. I think you got two hands behind it. Ball in the box.
Tellez.
Maguire.
Bang.
Dig.
Bruno. There's a foul there. Called on Maguire. People saying, some people saying penalty.
That wasn't
Some
a
people
penalty.
saying it was a good tackle. So yeah, I don't think it was a penalty. If you get the ball first, it's not a foul, is it?
When I first saw the replay, I was like, that's a penalty. But when you see, there is an angle where you see him kick the ball.
Nah, it's so obvious he kicked the ball. Look, the geezer's laughing, bro. Kick the ball.
Yeah, I think he kicks the ball.
He kicks the man on the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
There's geezers that I've never seen play football in my life yet playing, and we're drawing 0-0.
Yeah, that's what someone said before in the
This
super
ref
chat.
looks like a top flight snitch as well, man.
Yeah, Usman was saying that in the super chat before, Adam. Are you concerned that we are struggling to break teams sitting back? Like we struggle to break them down so much every single time.
West Brom are out here; they're not sitting back. But it's just something's not right at the moment.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Can't get the ball.
Harry.
Nice little foul from Harry Maguire there, who almost got done before that penalty incident.
He did
didn't
get done.
He caught it back up though, didn't he?
Only because the lad had a bad touch.
At this rate, we've dropped 13 points at home this season in 6 games, 5 games. It's a fucking disgrace, bro.
It's a lot, that, isn't it?
It's fucking depressive, man. You shouldn't even lose that many in a season.
No, yeah, you're right.
So that's how you know we ain't doing nada. We might get top 4. Play.
We're not winning those second balls, and it took the ball bounced on the floor. Who was it? Marshall who won the header there.
Yeah.
Marshall won the header, and then the ball
Bruno.
bounced on the
Hey,
floor
come on,
before
come on,
anyone
lad.
even moved
Get
to it. So we've got 3 men up front.
And Mata and
10 men behind
Rashford
him.
and Bruno and Marshall are all like within.
Yeah.
You could throw a blanket over them. I'd take off Mata and take off Rashford.
Yeah.
Bring on Donny and
Rashford's on the right
Cavani.
there.
Go.
Is that Rashford?
Marshall on the left.
I think that's Rashford.
Donny through the middle. Cavani through the middle. Donny on the right.
What are you?
Great
Save.
save. Fucking hell, man.
We were all
What
over the show
a
there.
Save.
We were all over the show.
They're not sitting back. I know this is what I'm saying. People
All
are
right,
saying they're
whether they're
sitting
sitting
back.
back or not, we're struggling to break them down.
Come on, Anthony.
That's what I'm saying. We're struggling to break them
fuck
down.
off.
Shit.
Ah.
You're just going to win a fucking penalty.
Oh, he's megged him there. How'd you do that?
Well done.
Oh, penalty.
That's a
Penalty.
That's a pen.
Penalty.
That's
Are they
a
going to
pen.
go? Adam's gone.
Adam's
Can't
gone.
bear to watch.
He's doing a J. He's going to go out. He's going to do a little step, chip it down the middle.
What's that, Kev? Is that blood?
No, it's paint.
It's paint, mate.
Oh, that's a pen. That's
nearly
been
caught it.
that's been a penalty since 1952. That has. You can't turn around like that. Yeah, exactly. Oops. It's my hand. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
We're
about.
going to get a goal today. It's going to be a penalty.
That's about 3 penalties. Come on, Bruno. Are they checking it?
Don't care.
Can't check that.
I'm worried if they'll check the foul. No,
If they're checking
was there a
anything-
foul in the
if they're
build-up?
checking anything, it's a foul in the
Saw it
build.
and didn't give it.
Well, can you do that?
It's not clear and obvious.
No, just
No
that.
one
Can you?
knows.
You can give a foul in the build-up to a goal, but can you give a foul in the build-up to a penalty?
I don't think you can.
Oh,
This is definitely a handball.
That's what Massa here
There's no
for.
denying that. You can't turn like that and then it hits you in the hand. That's how the masks are supposed to be worn. I think they're taking it.
Who's taking it?
Bruno,
I
obviously.
want Marshall to stop being... Bro!
Marshall,
No, it's 0-0. Bruno's our penalty taker, so don't start.
you're going to have to go somewhere near a microphone if you're talking.
You're wearing a number 9. You can't be letting mans that wearing number 18 take your penalties.
Yeah, but he's better than him at penalties.
He is, but...
Yeah.
That's why he takes the penalties.
I want you to be confident to say, no, give me the...
Giz it. Right,
No.
Bruno, penalty.
Come on, son, Bruno.
Come on, lad. We need this.
Come on, Bruno.
Come on. Come on.
Retake, he's come off the line.
Fucking hell.
What's he called?
That's why Marshall needs to take his penalties off him.
Is he saying is it retake?
No. Don't think
come
so.
off the line?
Are they checking it?
Yes,
Oh, he's well off. He's well off the line. We'll have that again. Look how far off he is. You can't do that, you dickhead.
Miles off.
He's off the line before
That's
he
literally what the rule was brought in for. He's a
But
foot
this is
off.
the
There's no
second
VAR.
time now.
There's no VAR with it. It's just, mate,
Yeah,
I've
but
seen
listen,
it.
Where did he do that, Everton?
No, against
No,
us. It was
PSG.
PSG won it.
Bruno missed it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
scored the second one.
He's so far
He's
off his
so
line.
far
This
off
is
there.
why- Bro, if I'm a striker and I haven't scored in the league
Yeah, if he's
all
done it-
season, bro,
To be
give me that ball, dickhead.
No, Bruno's not taking it again. But I'd be saying now, if I was Marshall, look, you missed 2 now, mate.
Sam's going to save this again.
Nah, he's going to put it top bins now.
taking
Shut
it-
Cam.
right.
Come off now. Marshall and Rashford come off.
Nah.
He missed 2.
He's only missed one.
He's missed 2.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He's missed one.
Come on, Bruno. Come on.
Go on, lad.
Come on, Bruno. Come on, please, baby.
Yes! Oh, fucking hell. That's twice. And he's actually technically only missed one. He's missed 3 penalties in the last month,
it
but he's
gives
only
me-
missed one. How's that possible?
These
Here
lot
he is.
want to kill me.
Ollie's shithouse
It's
in
all the way
Reds.
to think
It's
about it.
great.
Oh, we needed that. We needed that, lads.
Shuts a
Just give me
shithouse team at the
anxiety,
minute.
man. It was like watching Jeezy and Gucci the other day. Did you see it?
On the which one was this one?
Versus.
No.
On the verses. Do you know about the story?
I missed that one.
So you know about Gucci and Jeezy? Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy.
Yeah, I know about it, but just give me
So
a
they used to be
recap.
friends. And then Jeezy tried to put a hit on Gucci.
Oh.
And then Gucci shot up one of the geezers that put a hit on and then killed Jeezy's friend. And then they were making songs about it back and forth about it because Gucci boss case because it was self-defense. In America, you can shoot people if you want. And then
Not quite, but yeah, go on.
and then they agreed to, after all this hostility for them that many years, songs about killing your mate and this, that, and the other, they decided to do a versus. You know what these versus things are, right?
What, like face-to-face thing?
So it's like Ludacris against...
Yeah.
'cause Ludacris did it with... Who did Ludacris do one with? Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, on an Instagram Live. They do
Oh,
the
yeah,
songs
yeah,
go
yeah.
back to back.
Okay, yeah. The Instagram one.
So they were going back to back with songs on stage. Jeezy was winning, obviously. But towards the end, Gucci did his diss songs, talking about killing his best mate, and was looking him dead in his eye, like,
doing his songs. Like,
I don't know anything about this, but that is rough.
and it was, bro, I was sitting there like 2:30 in the morning, like anxious as fuck, thinking I'm going to see someone die on Instagram Live today. Nah. But it was like, it should have. And that's how anxious I was watching Bruno's penalty, basically.
Jack Alana says Gucci diss was tension, mate.
Yeah, tense, bro. He did Truth, you get me? Go home and listen to Truth. He basically, and then he said, so the geezer that he shot was called Pookie Log. And then he said, looking into Jeezy's eyes, we're going to smoke on that Pookie Log tonight.
Jesus.
And he even said, send some more and I'll send them back to you in a box.
That's rough, isn't it?
It's rough. And they were on stage with
That's
each other.
really rough. Was he like, I didn't sign on for this. I didn't say, he wanted life in that.
Oh man, I'm being the bigger man and all this, that and the other. I did some long ass speech about how we shouldn't be against
What
each
to
other
say
for
from
the
the
culture and this, that. And then Gucci did another diss track.
We've got a super chat from Ross Murphy.
Gucci!
Does it feel bad that we're relying on penalties to break the side down? Hate to admit it, but we are Penchester United.
No, fuck it, it's great.
Up.
I don't mind being Penchester United.
If we win the league being Penchester United, I'll have it. Nah, but there's only so
Penty
long
one.
that look
That's what we're going for.
happens. Isn't it?
Penty one.
That Penty first title. I'll take it. Glenn Hoddle's not happy. Is he ever?
Fuck. Probably walking around the pitch in anti-clockwise and criticising disabled people again, isn't he?
Okay, let's move on because...
No, that's what he did.
Yeah, I know, but Man United are winning.
Not us, him.
Yeah, I know.
Glenn, you remember that?
Yeah.
He said they go into hell and stuff like that. What the? Who even says things like that?
Yeah.
And now he's back on TV like he never left. They'll rehabilitate Ron Atkinson soon. It's like they've rehabilitated Tony Blair and George Bush. Putting her on Ellen and shit. Oh, look at my Uncle George Bush on Ellen. Shut up, Ellen. With your shit show.
Marcus,
your shit haircut.
Off you come. Go on.
Joey says, should we think about dropping Tony for a few games? Not Tony Blair, Tony Marshall.
I wish I could drop Tony Blair off the top of a building.
Okay, let's not worry about that.
Tony Marshall. Again, it's a possibility. Like we said earlier, we really answered it earlier, didn't we?
What do you think, though?
There's nothing wrong with it because it'll be a challenge then. And you could do it against Istanbul.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't look like
you've
dropped him, but it's still.
It gives Cavani.
If Cavani plays and scores.
Cavani, who have I just seen him on the pitch? Then is he?
Or even, bro, you could even play Cavani. Look, Rashford looks a bit injured. Yeah. You could play Marshall on the left, Cavani through the middle. Marshall gets a goal, back in form, put him back up top. Without
I
that
wouldn't have minded that.
pressure, you know what I mean?
I would love to win the league as Penchester United, Gareth Rodway. Oh,
I'd
we
just
all
love
would.
to win a
It'd
game.
be the best way to win a league. I reckon.
Ball. Unlucky Aaron.
Good defending.
Unlucky Aaron.
Unlucky, yeah.
Bruno complained about that pass, by the way. That is
what?
That is what Bruno does all game. Tries ridiculous passes. Someone tries to him. Oh, why isn't it just a simple ball?
Do you think Bruno's shitting it every time he takes a penalty now? He has missed 3 in the last month, but technically he's only missed 1. But he has missed 3 penalties.
Sorry,
although
yeah,
you
that's
could
right.
say the reason that he's missed them is because they were off their line, but he still put them the wrong way, or the right way for the goalie, and didn't really look like he was that confident with them. Do you think he's shitting it?
Yeah, he's missed some now, so he's doubting himself, and he's playing with that anger and frustration that I need to do this and I need to do that. And Ben Chilwell can suck my toe, bruv. I don't care what he thinks.
Yeah.
He said, not sure that's how
Why
Chelsea
oh,
footballer.
Here's a tweet from Ben Chilwell. Who cares? He could walk past me in the street and I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, bruv. Yeah.
It was Nelly versus Ludacris and Snoop versus DMX.
Yeah, it was. I was about to read that out. It was funny though.
I remember when you came in after the Snoop DMX one.
Oh, it was
and
so
you was
good.
just like off your head
I
the
love
next
DMX.
day.
Right.
Did you just have a BMX when you were a kid? You seem like the sort of person who would have.
I had a bike, but with suspension and stuff. I didn't have a BMX. But I remember we went to the beer because we used to go on our bikes and just end up being out all day, driving down the canals and going everywhere and that. And we went to this BMX track. Who's in that? Who's what's going on?
Hal Robson Carney coming on.
Went to the BMX track, gone over this high thing and just come flying off my bike, bro. Grazed all my chin and that. It's hard times, but it's fun.
It's horrible crashing a bike, isn't it?
Strikers
And then
number 4.
by my nan used to live in a flat. Is Wan-Bissaka going off for Cavani?
No, Wan-Bissaka's just on there taking the throw in.
It's a 29 for 7.
That's because that's a
is that
Brom
them?
sub.
I was going down
Tell
the
us
hill.
about the flat.
going down the hill from my nan's, and it used to go to some traffic lights. 2 bad things happened there. One of them was I pressed both brakes at one point and went flying over the top.
Can't be doing it.
Smashed up myself. Second thing was I didn't press my brakes because I was scared that would happen. And then I just went flying into the gate, into the fence next to the traffic lights.
That's probably more dangerous.
And my knee got stuck in the fence. Like it was just
I hate stuff
horrible
like that.
times.
I was racing my mate. He was on a mountain bike and I was on a chopper and I was beating him. And then I just started.
You sucked your mate's chopper?
What? And then I just started to because the front wheel on a chopper is slightly smaller than the back wheel, innit? And I started to feel my handlebar like I'm losing control here, and they were like rattling like that, and I was still trying to beat my mate. And then the handlebar just went zoom. I just went flying off it and landed like straight on my knee and my hands.
Do you remember
still got a dint in my knee from it.
Do you remember when there used to be that kid who would have a bike, but the handlebars would just come out?
Yeah.
He'd be right
Zoom! Trying to fit him back in before he falls over.
So who was our subs?
Matt came off for Cavani.
Okay.
That's probably fair enough, isn't it?
The brakes on my bike were the wrong way around. So the front brake was on the right, and was it the right hand side or the other way around?
Left used to be back brake, front was the right brake.
I think my dad built the bike and put it on the wrong way, to be honest. I think that's
Your dad built your bike?
No, he got it from like Halfords or something. He had to build it.
Bike in a
and
box.
He put it together, he put the wrong way. And
You didn't like make it from like a shower curtain rail and the wheel from an old pram.
Challenge with Alex and his dad.
Yeah, it wasn't quite like that. No,
a varnished digestive biscuit as the front wheel.
Do you remember Scrappy Challenge?
One of my favourite shows
used to
ever.
always
That guy who had them goggles on for no reason. Like the goggles on the side of the hat.
But he used to be so bait. He used to be like,
so
oh yeah, they've got to go into this and they've got to find it. But there'd just be
a go-kart.
A full engine just planted somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they've in this challenge they've got to make a go-kart. Well, they found an old go-kart and everything but the steering wheel works. Like they've made a steering wheel out of an old washing machine. It was a great show. That it was really good.
It was good.
That's a good cross, Wan-Bissaka there.
Bang it.
Go on,
No,
Fred, lad.
Fred, don't shoot.
Fred!
No one's on it to just shoot, man. Shoot.
See, Fred's had a shot that was so
Oh,
bad.
me Jesus.
West Brom have scored.
Matic again.
They haven't scored just yet.
Who's
Wan-Bissaka's coming
Anyone?
back now, tracking
Tackle?
back.
Anyone?
Oh!
Angles.
Fucking crossbar there.
Well left there.
Jesus Christ.
What an effort.
Fred had a shot and he got deflected and played them through.
That was nearly like Jack Grealish's goal against us.
Yeah, it was.
Same ends. No, it actually was. That's the best way.
Oh, there's a run. There's a run. Go on, Eddington. Go on. Oh, good goalkeeping there. He's come out.
No, he defended it well.
He's offside. He's miles offside as well. Well, that was stressful, wasn't it?
Mad.
Mate, what an effort. This is some effort from them.
It's that fake Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, isn't it?
No one near in there.
That's a perfect shot. That is. You know when you get that angle on FIFA and you know this is a goal.
Yeah, finesse.
It's that good.
Let me just press right bumper. This is in.
Cam, no one's talking to you. You do realise that, innit?
Oh. Scrap Heap Challenges uses Manscaped. Yeah, they do.
Cam fucked up because I was the only one that loved him in this building and he's lost me today.
He's lost the dressing room.
He has lost the dressing room. And he's going to stitch me up with some shit thumbnail later as well. I know what he does.
He does. He knows.
The prick. That's what I said to you, Mum. What?
Interesting. Some kid in my class, says Suvi here, at school always goes on about how his dad was on Scrap Heap Challenge and I've never heard of it before.
Oh, nice.
What, like on it as like a contestant or like the host? Reply, please.
Tell him to phone me.
Someone said Cam is done.
Cam's not that.
No, he's not. He's good. He's been good today.
He's lost
He's
the
nice.
dressing room.
How are we so bad, for fuck's sake?
We're not 1-0 up.
We're winning. What do you mean so bad?
We're beating the mighty West Brom. Played Marshall.
When Bruno. Oh, God! Rashford!
Oh, save!
Twat it!
Marcus, man.
How has he put that? The far post?
No,
wide.
This is
What
a save, by the way.
Oh, he saved it. That's why.
Sam Johnston's on speed.
He just needs to
today,
toe
but-
poke it. He side foots it. If he toe pokes that as hard as he can, then there's no way he's missing the target.
You know how Bruno twatted off that geezer's face earlier?
Same knows Maguire won it.
Yeah, Maguire.
It's some save, though.
Played Sam Johnston.
Oh, Sam Johnston. I predicted 1-1
Knew it.
at half time. I said 2-0 before the game.
You know, when Bruno gave that penalty, I thought of you when you said that.
Thank you. I thought West Brom were going to score first and we'd get one back. Oh! Who's that? Tellez?
It's ambitious. It's
Tellez
very,
going for the
it's
world
very
end of there.
ambitious there.
Tellez told
You
me
don't mind
that
that.
way. Alex says.
I don't mind a shot like that.
If that goes
I
in,
remember
it's the
Luke
best
Shaw
goal ever.
had a volley like that against Everton. We were losing 1-0 and he absolutely twatted it, but he caught it perfectly and it was going in the top corner and someone came out and stuck their hand up. Remember? And then Zlatan scored the penalty.
No.
No one remembers that.
Luke Shaw.
It was Mourinho.
Was it away?
Yeah.
No, he's at Old Trafford.
Oh, no, I don't remember it.
And he had he caught a volley. I don't know if it was a half volley or a full volley, but he caught it perfectly. And I was thinking, oh my God. And someone just punched it out of the way. Like, that must be the worst
Luke
thing.
Shaw walking off. I don't think he'd ever scored a goal for us at that point either, had he?
No.
His first goal
It
was
was like when
last year.
Ronaldo scored that goal against Spain
That's
when
a
he
foul.
drilled everyone. And then Nani headed it in. and it was
Offside.
But the worst thing was,
Imagine how
if
fuming he'd be.
VAR was in, that was Ronaldo's goal because it went over the line.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that bit. I remember the goal. You imagine as well, knowing that you're nicking Ronaldo's goal of all people.
Nani's got balls though.
He must have.
Nani don't care. I reckon Nani does stuff to wind Ronaldo up.
Would you have Nani in this team now?
Right wing all day long.
Yeah.
Nani would be the best winger in the league. Pepe went for £72 million, bro. Nani's worth £100 million then, if that's the case.
Who is the best winger in the league?
Nani?
He's not in the league.
He's not in the league.
Who's the best winger in the Premier League? There's a question for everyone at home.
Wingers are dead though, innit?
Son.
People
Wingers
saying
are dead, innit? They're inverted forwards now or forwards, innit? Wingers are dead. You know who killed wingers? DMs.
Robben.
DMs killed wingers.
Why?
Because they couldn't be asked doing
Because when you
both
played
jobs.
DMs, then you didn't have to play 2 box to box. Then you could play your wingers high up the pitch, which means they became inverted forwards, which means DMs was killed by the 4-4-2 disappearing out of the game.
Sad times.
People saying Wilfried Zaha. People saying Heung-min Son. A lot of people saying Heung-min Son.
Wilfried Zaha isn't.
No.
No way
Yeah,
near.
if we're talking wide players,
Yeah.
You know,
you-
I don't think there are any wingers anymore.
Modern
Even Nani
day, you would
now
consider
be-
Rashford as a
Nani
winger,
would
though.
play in the front three, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. It's like Beckham would now be one of your 3
He might
central
be a wing
midfielders.
back or a central midfielder.
Oh, I beg you, score that. Okay. Oh, he set up Cavani.
We need to get the second goal.
That
We
was
need a
good. That
second
was
goal.
Cavani. Unlucky, bro.
Yeah, he was. Just got the shot blocked, didn't he? Do you think there's a chance that David Beckham would be like the best right back in the league if he was
Nah,
playing now?
he'd be the best central midfielder on the planet.
Yeah.
He
People
played.
talk about De Bruyne like that, bro. Absolute spam merchant. Beckham would say, "Where you want the ball? What blade of grass? Here you go. Put it there."
Spam
that.
merchant.
Off you,
I said that off
Marcus,
camera, though.
go and have a break.
Yeah.
Just go and have.
We're only
have a
1-0 up
sit
there, we
down,
can't
have a
afford to
cup of
take him
tea.
off.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
No Greenwood though in it
Bring on Donny.
for Rashford, bro.
Yeah. Play Marshall.
If
on
we
the
bring
left,
anyone on, for
Cavani there.
Rashford's going to be Daniel James. I know he scored midweek, but I'm cool with that.
Maguire.
go.
Oh, Sam
fucking
Johnson,
Johnston.
you dickhead.
Maguire, I love him. He wins most of he should score 10
didn't do
goals
much
a
wrong
season.
there.
No, I mean,
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
he should score 10 goals a season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Certainly, like,
Mate, look how
definitely
much space he's
5.
got here.
He could beat Irwin's record.
What
The
is
amount
it?
of chances
how many
he gets.
How many did he get for United?
He used to take pens though as well,
Yeah.
which is.
A bit of a... It's going to make him hard to catch, innit?
But Brucey also hit double figures one season, didn't he?
He got 19.
Or was it Pallister? Was it Bruce?
One of them got 19 goals.
Ball in. Oh, who's that? Bruno, the back post.
He was always
Out
shooting.
again for a throw in. Like the video. Let's go up to over 1,000 likes on the video if you're enjoying the
Oh,
stream. If
nice.
you're enjoying Man United winning, give the video a
Irwin's
like,
best
please. Thank
season
you.
of goals was 6.
Is it?
It was the
It was
91.
Steve Bruce I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
Bruce got 19 one year.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking
He
of.
was top goal scorer.
Yeah,
for
you ain't
United
getting
by
that
Christmas
record.
that season.
Goals.
You ain't getting that record.
I think he was
there.
19, either 19 or 20, yeah. Mad that.
It was a 91
Centre
season.
back.
Yeah, you're
19
not
goals.
getting that
What?
record in it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
people in the
19
comments
goals
saying-
in 50 games.
Kurt in the comments says Brucey got 19, yeah.
But that was in the first division, not in the Premier League.
Back to the wing chat as well. Someone saying Mane.
Oh, yes.
might be
How
the
can
best
you
winger.
forget? Yeah, that's true.
Easy to scout.
Cavani's getting shots blocked back to back there, isn't he? Keeps getting in good positions, but just Yeah, he gets a lot of shots.
Is it actually something that could help us with if we played a 3? You could play a 3-4-1-2. Bruno, Marshall, Cavani. Obviously, if Rashford's out or whatever.
Like that run and pass there from Cavani.
I think the 3 at the back works, but I think he wants Luke Shaw in there. I don't think he's ever going to play with Twanzebe, Lindelof, Maguire as a 3. I don't think he'll do that.
No, I don't either. Like I said, he likes Luke Shaw at centre back, doesn't he? Fucking hell,
that's
through here.
one pass.
Well
Well
done, David
done,
De Gea.
De Gea.
You don't see much of that from him, do you?
No.
Like that surprised me to see De Gea come out for that. Good come out there from.
How Robson Carney's going to score in it?
Reliving that 2016 World Cup, or the Euro, sorry.
He went to that as a free agent, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goal he scored was pretty brilliant, wasn't it?
That's Belgium.
Yeah.
I think Martial's
Cavani's movement is a step up, isn't it? If we're being honest, it's outstanding.
The thing is, he's got Marcus on the right here at the minute. Martial's going over to the left.
Yeah.
You may, like I said, that's where Donny could come on. You've said before that Donny could play where Mata was playing, or even go back to the diamond for the last how long's left?
Keep the ball.
20 minutes.
Keep the ball.
Matic has been dog shit today.
Matic has been really bad. He's won it back there, in fairness to him, but you've got to keep the ball there.
It was given back to him then, and Cavani.
And he's lost it again, look.
You're shit, bro.
Soft balls. That's not a Manscaped ad.
Soft balls.
Just Matic just playing soft passes up, getting intercepted over and over again. He has been bad.
I wouldn't say bad, but he's not been good.
I think he has been bad.
I don't think anyone's been bad.
Hmm.
Because I think I just think he's been bang average. And anytime he's had a chance to do something good, he's just giving it away.
It's the thing with Matic. He needs a bit of a break so that he can keep his fitness up, because he can't do it week in, week out. But then when he has the break that he's had, he looks so far off the pace. As if
because
he's not
had
played
like
in
3
a
weeks off
month.
now, nearly.
As if he's not played in a month.
Yeah, I think he can play one game a week.
Yeah.
Or one game every 10 days. But having 3
Go on,
weeks off, he
Marcus.
loses a bit of sharpness. Go on, Marcus.
No.
The
all
pass
that
is on
space
there. He's
there,
got to
though.
pass it.
He's running into the trouble as well.
Yeah. That's gone out, surely. Come on. Let's Brom with a bit of the ball. Are you confident we're going to hold on? You just look. He's sick of being a Man United fan.
I'll never be sick of that. I'm sick of this football.
I expected to
Can we
see
do a
it.
switch?
I think we've looked alright last 10.
That's
There's a
ball.
pass.
That is a fucking ball.
That's
son.
such a good pass. Martial in the box. Pulls it back. Fred.
Oh. No,
Fred, man!
Yourself.
What are you, slag shoot? Fuck, man! Why don't no one want to score for Man United? Huh?
I don't think Fred trusted his right foot, did he? Fred don't trust his right foot. Fred's bad enough at shooting on his left that there's no way he's hitting that. You can't blame him for not hitting it. The pass to Bruno was the problem. He played it back to Bruno because he can't shoot. But the pass was shit. It was under hit.
And I want that extra pass all the time, man. Twat it.
Fred ain't your man there, though, is it?
Oh.
Come on.
He scored from there before. His only goal for us.
What's a ball?
Who played that ball? That was a ball, bro.
We've played about 3 balls in the last
Who's
few
in the
minutes,
box?
just over the top.
Ow!
Corner ball. No one in there.
See what Rashford did to him then?
Yeah.
That centre half for them's played well.
They've not been bad, West Brom.
Marcus, go off, you dickhead.
I was speaking to my mate who's a West Brom fan at half-time, and he was saying he expects them to look all right.
Cantwell's done him,
1-0.
Fred.
It's not Campbell.
I think that's been
Well,
the
he
problem.
looks like Cantwell, so he is Cantwell.
Cantwell. He does look like Cantwell. Same hair.
And he's got a
Gallagher.
Norwich kit on.
Yeah, exactly.
Cantwell's good, isn't he?
He's all right, isn't
No,
he?
I just mean he's a good footballer. Like,
Yeah, he's a
he
good
plays
player.
football. Though. He's like a cheap man's
Bruno.
Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Bruno into the box. Back post. Tell us! Twice!
That's
Twice
gonna come
they've
through
tried
the window. That is.
Twice they've
Someone
tried
should have
that
threw a
one.
ball at us.
Slap me straight in the head.
Shouldn't have said that out loud. We could have saved it for the next one.
Yeah. Oh, well.
We've got Super Chat. Asezi Oronse.
Beyonce.
Whatever. Ole always looks clueless, stuck to his bench, does not have orders/instructions to give to change how bad his team is playing.
That's wrong.
You don't agree?
No. Because we have come out better.
That's not a foul, bro.
We look better in the second half
We
than
have
we did in
looked
the
better.
first half.
We couldn't look worse.
We couldn't look worse. I agree with that.
We could have looked worse. Come on.
Look, this
We
is the
weren't
kind
good
of
first
this
half,
is the
but
kind of
come
performance that if United had won all their games this
Yeah.
season and after the international break, you take it. Because we've made that rod for our back where we've been shit so far this season, it's a continuation of that, isn't it?
Yep.
So we haven't seen an improvement in our team performance. The result is fine. If anything, we've seen a decline in our performance from the last game. And that's the problem again. People seeing signs of inconsistency. But again, you could say, it's an international break and all that, but it's still not good enough, is it?
No.
It was an international break for them too. Now, I know a lot of their players don't go on international break, but nor do
Took
ours.
2 weeks off.
Nor do ours. I mean,
So
who
we had,
played for
well, that's it. No, we had 5 who hadn't played in the starting 11.
It's not many of our players are internationals.
Here's Donny.
Here's one who is.
And even him, though, he doesn't start for Holland, bro. He was on the bench last
Scored the other day.
He was on the bench, though, wasn't he?
Didn't know, scored against Spain. I saw that.
I think there's something
That's
with
a
him,
foul
man.
there.
Fitness or
Van der Beek.
something.
Why he's not been playing more?
Because he's not been starting for Holland as well. But maybe that's
I don't know whether he started
maybe the
for
Holland
I
manager
saw the
one of
goal
them
he
that
scored
thinks,
against
you're not
Spain.
playing for your club, you can't play for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You don't know who's coming off here.
Is it a United sub? Van der Beek's coming on.
I don't.
You'd assume.
West Brom sub first. You'd assume it to be Marcus.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to take. He's not going to take Bruno off, is it?
Might take Fred off.
I don't see that 1-0 up.
No, I don't see it either. But I would guess Marcus because he's not been good, has he?
Who do you think wins in a race? Ivanovic, Mata or Matic?
Mata's last.
Mata's last.
Mata is last.
Mata's last because he's slow and he's got little legs as well.
Yeah.
Rashford's gone off for Donny
Matic
van
is
der Beek.
slow and old, but at least he's 6'4".
Yeah, so he's got the fact that he
got the stride length.
Yeah.
But he'd probably knee himself in the face halfway down the track.
Perhaps.
I've done that to myself before.
Over, what are we saying? 100
Kneed
yards
myself
here?
in the face.
I can't do that.
What, running?
Nah, so
when you like laid
I
on
was
your back.
breaking down a shed in the garden for my dad.
Right.
And like, he used to make me do things that I didn't want to do, like gardening and stuff. I used to hate it, innit? Like,
That shit from
and he made me break down this shed, so I was doing it, but I was doing it like pissed off, like I'm doing this Watchalong. And so I was just kicking things and just hitting it, and can't be arsed. And then I've gone to like smash a piece of wood, but I've stepped on a big long nail, yeah, and then I've jumped up at a shot.
Like a cartoon. Oh, I'd love to have the footage of that. You stepping on a nail and then jumping up and kneeing yourself in the head.
Blood in my mouth.
Like a gymnast.
My foot was killing.
What the fuck?
Like,
Stepped on a nail
mess.
and then kneed yourself in the head.
It's impressive.
That is proper like a cat in a
What are you
cartoon,
doing?
that.
Is it Tom and Jerry?
New film coming out. It's going to be so shit. The mates. They've got to be trying to kill each other.
That's the whole point.
Nah,
of it.
basically, Tom don't kill Jerry. He just pretends to because he don't want to change the cat in it. Something like that.
What?
Jerry and Tom are friends, yeah.
That's the actual. Is that the deep
He just
story
pretends
behind
to
it?
get him in it. Just pretends.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Is that the same with Tweety and Sylvester as well? Tweety Pie. They never got the same attention, did they? Tweety Pie and Sylvester. I used to like them too. With that old lady, always telling them not to fight and that. Can't have it both ways. Adam Titchmarsh, Joe is Charlie Dimmock. Did you used to
Charlie
watch?
Dimmock's never brought a bra in her life, has she?
Don't need to.
Remember
Save
her?
money. What's the point?
Back in the day.
Did you used to watch Ground Force?
Take your eye out. Huh?
Did you used to watch Ground Force?
Yeah, with Alan Titchmarsh and that.
Yeah.
They'd like clean someone's garden out in like 20
Tommy.
minutes.
There was Tommy.
What was the one where they used to have the timer on the screen?
Oh, 60-second makeover. 60-minute makeover. Where they're like, let's put 500 people in your house. Everyone in like a purple overall just going dung, 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 just putting some picture up.
How many nails could they possibly nail this?
Someone with like a jigsaw cutter outside. Oh, so much dust. That was so good. Paint it. You got a new house and it's made of MDF.
And Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen's flapping around somewhere.
I used to love changing rooms and 60-minute makeover. All of them. They went out of fashion a bit, didn't they? They got swapped out for Love Island. Shame, really.
And like auction, no, they changed auction shows with a new thing after that.
Do you think? But they're like daytime stuff.
Like, I wouldn't mind being an American picker.
Or just sat behind a glass cabinet going, nah.
No.
Which one's that?
You don't watch
Porn
American
Stars.
Pickers?
Which one's American Pickers?
So the two geezers, one's a bit rotund and one's tall.
Rotund.
Rotund.
And it's like the American Max and Paddy, but they go around and they just
buy shit.
Yeah,
I've not seen that.
Oh,
I've seen it like on like Quest on the little TV guide.
You'd love it.
The shite they buy and then say they can flip this. And
But they
make
bought.
It.
I love that.
Was it Metallica? I might have the band wrong, but it's or Aerosmith, someone like that. So they went to someone's house that was like collected stuff, and in the back of this geezer's like land, it was like in woods. They found it might have been Metallica's. They found their first ever tour bus, which is like a minibus, and it had like their logo on it and all that.
Wow, that's good.
And then they bought it for a couple G's, and the band were looking for it. And so the band bought it off them for bare money, and they used it as part of their tour, like on stage and that.
That's good.
But like, they found
made
it for
loads
them,
of money on
like
that.
just in a garden somewhere. Like.
So it's basically like a sort of grunge version of Antiques Roadshow.
No, it's two fellas just driving around.
They go to like because
sometimes people don't want to sell stuff. And
it's
they've
the
got,
weird.
like-
It's the weird hoarders in America.
Oh, is this the one where it's like, oh, come round, my grandpa used to be in World War II and here's all his medals and that. And I'll sell them to you and they're in
It's
the
just
shed.
people that have collected things for years. Stephen, there's someone going to do it here and go around to Stephen Howson's house because he's bought everything and have to buy things. That's what it's going to be.
Let's try and get 1.5k likes on the video. Like the video if you're glad that Man United are winning.
McTominay's come on for Fred.
McTominay's come on for Fred. Sorry, I thought Martial was going to get a goal there. Oh, I recognise him.
Yeah, them too.
Yeah, I've never really seen it, but he's always got a leather jacket on, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like a sort of
He's proper nice bloke.
a brown leather jacket.
Proper nice bloke.
Is he? Do you like?
He reminds you of the sound teacher at school.
Do you like Porn Stars and that? The one where they're the ones just sat behind a glass counter.
With what's his name?
Not like Grandad and that.
Oh, what's his name? The fat one.
I don't know.
Chumley.
He's not Chumley. Yeah, he's not fat anymore. He's lost a lot of weight.
Really?
Yeah, he's lost weight.
Lost it for me.
But he's killing it. He makes merch and that he does.
Does he?
Sells little bits and bobs.
Corner.
Bits and boobs.
Oh, two headers nodded on there. Two West Brom players just flicking the ball on.
What other TV's great?
What other TV shows do we like?
You're supposed to wear your t-shirt today.
I ain't got it. I ain't got one.
Right over there. I can see it.
I'll pop it on. That's a foul. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's probably not one you want to pop on at this moment.
It's true at the minute though. That's all it is.
Yeah, we're doing well here.
3
1-0
points are 3 points.
3 points is 3 points if we
As
get
the old
'em.
man used to say. Never said it.
Did it not?
When he got another speeding ticket.
You know what they say? 3 points is 3 points.
What are you doing there, Wan-Bissaka?
Yeah. There's a massive gap between our defensive midfield and our attack, and we're just getting the ball back, smashing it up the pitch to about one player,
that's not.
and
That's
hoping
not
that
a
they
foul.
score a goal.
That's a foul. That's
Come
not
on,
a foul.
come on, Edinson, run.
No pace.
That's shit. That.
We've got to pick that up.
No.
See, like,
there's no
that,
one there.
what's this gap here? Look at the gap in the middle of the pitch. 25 yards from McTominay and Matic up to the strikers, with just no one in it. A huge gap.
It's because everyone's just sitting back a bit nervous, apart from the front four.
Fucking
that's still
shitting
going.
ourselves.
We can still score.
Trying to
though.
counter-attack against West Brom.
Ooh.
Oh, he thought
That's
about
not
it.
a
He's
foul.
dived
That's a
there.
foul.
That's a dive. That.
Does he give it? He's not
That's
give
a
it.
dive.
He's
But
not give
again, it's like you got to book someone then.
Yeah.
Bro. What
That-
are you
I think
doing?
that
Like,
was a
that's
dive.
a dive then.
Well done,
Yes,
Scott.
Scotty too
well
hotty.
done.
Ow!
Keep the ball. Keep the ball.
Oh fucking
He's
Jesus!
kept it. He's
done
got it.
well.
We've got it. We've got it. Here we
He's
go.
done well.
He's
Why
done
go,
well.
why go,
That
why?
took a
Give it in.
massive deflection.
Nah, he's done well there.
He meant
You've
to
got to
bounce
play
off.
for the deflections, lads.
Mate, do we? What?
Everyone thinks the game's finished.
They do.
Well, who's that?
Are they waiting for the whistle to go or something?
It is. It
Well,
is.
come on,
United
it's
players are
Marshall.
playing like there's no way West Brom can score here.
Yeah.
We are playing like our game's done. We
They're
don't
playing
really need
like
to try.
it's 5-0 up.
Yeah, do you know when you're at school and you're like 30-0 up and you're like, oh, we can't be asked to score anymore. It's just sad. We're playing like
I
we're
never
fucking
used to feel
10-0
like
up.
that. I never used to feel
Ruthless,
like that.
still scoring.
I just fucking batter them.
But Adam, they're all crying.
We played against. I remember when we played year 10s, year 11s. Yeah, absolutely romped them.
What, you were year 10 or you were year 11?
Yeah, in year 10. Smashed. Absolutely smashed him.
I never allowed such things to happen. When I was in year 11, I only played the year 7s.
Our school team as well, in primary school, yeah, our team was the sickest, yeah, in Birmingham. Most of our players played for Birmingham District and that, yeah. Then we were supposed to get promoted, innit? And basically, because they didn't want like these tourist schools coming into our area, yeah, to play us, they basically said we couldn't get promoted. Like, they fucked us over, bro. And I remember our PE teacher, the coach, was like proper sad and that, close to tears for us and stuff. It's like Coach Carter moment.
Just sat on his little cooler box. I can't do this, lads. I can't do this
Fucked
anymore.
us over, nah, serious. And
Why
then
did they do that
in the
then?
cup competition?
But why did they
yeah,
actually do that?
We
'Cause
got
they
to
didn't
this.
want posh
We got to
schools
this.
going there,
Got
yeah.
to this. Got to this final against some team, yeah. And that team started playing like bare secondary school guys against us and that. And we were in year 6. So,
like 15-year-olds playing against you.
Like we took them to penalties as well and lost.
We're not taking this seriously, are we? United aren't taking this game seriously.
I remember Pez.
Okay.
Like I made the whole school team on Pez. Remember when you could do that?
They used to be able to make a full squad.
You save it on your memory card.
You can do that on pro clubs now, you know, on FIFA. You can change the players of the
Oh,
players
yeah, I know
that
the
don't even
CPU.
play for it. Yeah, you can change them every week. I played against someone the
Like
other day.
Van der Berg and
One
them,
show 11. They had like a
Van der
Matt
Berg
Baker and that in there.
change them, yeah.
They had a Matt Baker. They had a what's her name who married Frank Lampard. She was in there. Christine Bleakley was in there. The best pro clubs team I've ever played against. That Matt Baker scored a right hat-trick and all. Go on, Tony. Come on.
Greedy
That's a
bastard.
foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. It's such a weird game to watch, this, isn't it?
Weird. Do you mean shit?
Well, yeah, but like
that's
how
weird.
stretched out the game is. It's like everyone just thinks, let's just wait till full time. West Brom look like they can't be asked to score either. This is the sort of game where they
going
should
on
be
here?
pushing people forward
That's
and trying to
not
get a
good.
goal. Who's injured there?
Is it McTominay? United, if
I
they
think-
win this game, up to 9th, ahead of...
Hear me out when I say this.
City and Arsenal.
I think that the forward players have been poor today.
Mm.
You could even argue Cavani's finishing when he come on should have been better. Although he's a sub, so can't really be too harsh. I mean, he's just come on. But we haven't really created anything in this
No,
game.
we ain't created much at
No.
all.
Like, you can say Martial has been poor and he should have scored. But apart from that chance, have we created anything else for him? Rashford, he had that chance, he should have scored. Great save from Sam Johnson. Apart from that, did we create anything else for him? Like, it's one chance each almost for these front men.
I feel
You know
like
what I mean? Like, it's not enough chances. Like you see Gabriel Jesus today. I know they didn't win, but he had loads of chances. Do you know what I mean? We don't create chances.
I feel like this is the game where we should be in the position where we should be able to gamble and play.
And Bruno's stopped performing now, so we have.
And that's it. It's all one player. Whereas we need to be able to gamble and put Bruno and Van der Beek on.
How is there 4 minute stoppage time?
Because when
nothing even happened.
when you need the two sitting, it works.
But don't you think though as well though, Adam, that like when you've got 4 players go up front or 4 players in the attack, and they've all had, you know, Martial had a great chance, Rashford had a bit, even Maguire had that shot that was saved. Like they surely 4 chances, not even including the penalty. That should be a goal, shouldn't it? Like how many?
Maguire's
I know you wanna
weren't a
make
chance,
more,
though, was
but
it?
Surely
We didn't create that chance from like open
It was
play.
from a
It was from
corner.
a set piece,
Yeah,
right?
but it's still a chance.
So outside of set pieces, you see us scoring today.
That's only a yellow.
Really?
Yeah,
We should have scored the Martial
should
one.
have scored.
So outside of set pieces, 2 chances. Rashford's and Marshall's. Is that it? Like, do you know what I mean? That's not enough. For
I think
a
we
top
should
team
have had
against a bottom team.
I think we should have had another creative player in there. I don't like Matic in that too.
I don't like
Matic in that too. When it's
they
not
don't have
Pogba.
players they're not DMs.
No.
But we're playing 2 flat.
Yeah.
2 midfielders flat there. Why?
And Bissaka, Cavani leaves it.
well,
Marshall!
That's a great block. So what a touch before
Just
that.
can't quite get it, can he, at the minute, Marshall? It's a
That was
great
a
block, but he
phenomenal
just
touch
get
just
it-
before that.
He didn't quite get the ball out from his feet either. He sort of stuck to him and when
Watch
he
the
blocks
touch.
it. It's a good touch.
That.
See ya.
The defender
close.
stayed with him pretty well, though.
Yeah,
man.
he did. It's just, look, it's like...
Yeah.
He stays on
That's
him
a
well.
goal if that's not a block, I think.
Yeah.
You'd hope so.
Furlong. My year 6 teacher used to call Miss Furlong. She was sound.
Now she's playing for West
And then
Brom.
when she left, we sang in assembly. We sang. Sometimes I feel like
I thought you don't like put a name in the song or anything. You just sing it.
No, we just sang that tune.
What? What
Sang
was
the
it
tune.
organised, or were you just like
in
boys,
assembly? You dickhead!
I've got
I didn't
this.
just run to the front of the class and start singing to her.
Sounds like you might have done at this point.
And she started crying on that.
Did she?
Because
I'd have cried. Did you cry?
Because she left the greatest class of all time, dickhead.
Did you cry?
Nah, fuck that.
Did you say so long furlong at any point? Did you?
Nah.
Shame.
When I was in reception, I used to think the teachers lived at school.
Yeah, I used to think the dentist lived at the dentist. I used to want to be a dentist, and I was like, Mum, when I live at the dentist, are you going to come visit me even when you don't have to get your teeth checked up and that? And she was like, nah.
And then when I went to my first ever game,
well done, Cavani.
I used to
Well
think you
done.
could hear the commentary in the ground.
Yeah.
And I thought that at half time you went to the other side of this pitch.
What, and span round?
Yeah,
when they kicked off
so
the
everyone
other way?
moved around.
Right, come on, boys. Oh, walk
Yeah.
round
What are we doing
clockwise. Clockwise, you know the rules.
Glenn Hoddle's here.
Trying to walk back through everyone else. You go around to the other side clockwise. Hashtag Sulky Mckola is trending in the comments.
Well, what? 2 people tweeted it in the comments. Well,
Just one
posted
actually.
in
It's
the
still
comments.
trending though. Adil
Harry,
with the
what
super
was
chat.
that?
Players look tired after the international break. Can we use that as an excuse?
No.
You can, but you can't because
5 of them
this isn't
didn't
the
play.
first performance like this season.
5 of them didn't play international football. They've had the field for 2 weeks, or they've been training for 2 weeks.
Out of who started today, who played international football?
Maguire
Marshall,
played 2 games.
Tellers didn't really
Maguire.
play, but he had a rate trip on him.
Marshall, Maguire, Tellez, Cavani had a massive trip, but he didn't start.
Yeah.
Donny went away.
That's it.
Donny.
Donny didn't start.
Wan-Bissaka. So
Yeah, but he
Wan-Bissaka.
played.
Oh!
Donny
Wan-Bissaka
just got
didn't play.
megged to fork.
About to say about I don't know about Pereira, he's absolute baller.
Just
So is
love Megs.
Romain. We've had a quiet one today. to
Oh,
be
this
fair.
is last
Get
chance,
back.
innit? Here we go. Last chance for West Brom.
I think this is how we line up against Istanbul. Marshall on the left, Cavani up top.
Go on then, blow the whistle, ref. It's like he's going, I'll let him get it into the box once.
He
Let's see what
literally
happens
doing
with
that.
this attack. There's no reason he shouldn't be blowing the whistle here. Like,
It's like it's FIFA though, innit? The whistle wouldn't go either. As soon as we kick the ball out,
there
it'll
you
go.
go.
See.
Right, full time. Manchester United beating West Brom 1-0. That was a bit boring, wasn't it?
Just a bit.
Done
Boring
the job,
game.
though.
We're going to be back for fan cams
How many people
and for a
actually
review
stuck around here?
very soon.
3,000 of the bad boys.
Yeah, we're going to be back for that stuff shortly. Any thoughts on that, Adam, quickly before we go?
Sexy Mccola's trending in the comments.
No, it's not. Sulky Mckola, mate.
Someone said Mccola. Mccola.
Yeah, it's Home Alone, isn't it?
Ross says that was awful, but we won.
Yeah.
Cannot believe what I was
Take it.
watching.
I think that was awful, but we won is a nice way to sign off. Like I said, we're going to be back for the review very shortly, and we're going to have fan cams and the review from Adam and Stephen as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for joining me, Adam. Thanks for joining me,
joined
Alex.
me, dickhead.
Cheers, Joe. Top man.
See you
You
later.
joined me.